lost all my knowledge.
Okay,
there is no way in hell that my computer would record anything without just laughing in my face.
That's
I
valid.
have a Chromebook.
We are recording. So.
Hello.
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 Hello to all of our listeners, aka us.
So recap, as I recall, is first watch, nothing happened.
Yep.
Second watch, Talia and Lena had some weird half bonding going on.
Yeah, where Talia tried to pretend that the tea was lovely, and Lena was just like, you don't have to pretend that the tea is lovely if you don't like it.
Talia completed Mission Crow.
Talia and Vias tried to talk, and both basically kind of kept misunderstanding each other, and everyone else kind of flailed in
everyone else
second-hand agony.
Everyone else died. And Vera and Talia had some awkward bonding time.
Vias communed with the moon, and then everyone woke up.
Yeah.
Pretty much. So it is currently a little after dawn. It's about 6:30 in the morning.
Okay. I was just about to ask.
I am pulling times out of thin air because I knew you were going to ask.
I do appreciate that.
I'm happy that you appreciate that.
Talia is sort of putting out the fire. Not yet, because breakfast has to happen.
Talia just freaking puts out the fire. No breakfast for us. Fuck off.
No.
I think from what we did last time, Diona was kind of prepping breakfast. Lena was prepping tea. Everyone else was waking up slowly and gradually.
Yeah, if Diona's up and out, Talia has like sucker attached themselves to her side.
Oh, you're in it now? Yeah, sorry.
I am posting the link for maps that I use. So it is. That's fine. I would say that Lena will probably kind of get up and disappear partway through breakfast.
That's some sketchy behavior.
Yeah, Talia is just kind of like right next to Diona.
Discuss over breakfast. I don't know, is it proper etiquette to discuss plans over breakfast?
I lost like the last 30 seconds of what was said. I'm really sorry. My thing just flickered.
No, it's fine. My internet just kind of stalled for some reason. The question was, is it proper etiquette to discuss plans over breakfast?
Of course.
So Lena's just kind of going to wave and I'll be right back, and disappear off towards kind of the tents for the main part of the scout camp.
Should someone go with her, or are we all just okay? That's fine.
I mean, by this point, Lena's kind of walking off in a kind of fairly determined manner.
Yeah, Talia's sort of sentence sort of trails off as they just go, oh, all right.
So I have no idea what Diona would be making for breakfast, but I'm sure it is good. Nail varnish everywhere. And after
is Clancy awake?
No.
I have no idea.
Nope.
Sleeping child is sleeping.
Is Clancy just not a morning person?
Clancy's not a person.
Oh, bless. I mean, that is so simultaneously so sweet and so fucking ominous.
I hate that, by the way.
You should.
I mean,
Okay.
I've given up on trusting you with these sorts of things, Josh.
Yeah, you should. Don't trust me.
What
action.
where's Clancy at? Is Clancy just chilling in a tent right now, sleeping in a tent?
Yeah, fast asleep.
Yeah, Clancy is in one of the tents and I think was being kind of watched over by various people during the night.
Okay.
It is now also slightly covered in salt.
Yeah.
Yes, there is that too.
There's salt on the child.
Is there anyone attending the child right now?
I do not believe there is.
Okay. Susanna, after taking, her morning ritual and getting herself all sorted and arranged, and also finding 30 gold in her pocket and transferring it to the correct pocket with no idea how it got in the wrong pocket, she will...
on the 30 gold.
I love that. That is so good. She doesn't deserve it. She doesn't fucking need it. It's perfect. Give it to her. So Susanna will go in and just see if Clancy is stirring. And if Clancy is not stirring, then she will awkwardly stand and check the time and just watch like a creeper.
Will she kind of cough subtly as well?
A little bit. I mean, she doesn't want to be impolite, but I mean, she does like. This is like, why are you sleeping in so late?
Clancy is sort of shifting and turning as they sleep, but not like they're waking up. Just how you do when you dream.
Yeah. All right. So Susanna is gonna she's just gonna stay there pretty awkwardly because nobody else seems to be watching the kiddo. So she's just gonna stand. She's gonna stand here until the kiddo wakes up. Okay.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, wait. Can I roll something?
You can roll whatever you like. I mean, perception would be with a -5, I believe it is.
Not perception. Just a d20 to see if Clancy notices.
For it. Go for it.
Oops, I did that bad. Hold on. My 2 key doesn't work right. Oh.
Roll 1d0.
0! Critical hit!
Yeah, I mean the DC would probably been of well, I'd say it would be a 10, but then with the 5, so it'd been a 15. So yeah, I mean, Clancy is gonna kind of eventually they're going to become aware that there is somebody else in the tent with them that maybe wasn't there when they went to sleep.
Oh, okay. Give me a second. Sorry, I'm trying to think of the reaction.
Gonna what now?
So they kind of wake up slowly. They look up. They see Susanna, and immediately they're sitting up and like scrambling, like eyes blown wide.
Oh, hold on. I wasn't trying to disturb you. I just wanted to come in to see if you were awake.
I'm awake. Yes. What do you want? Am I late?
You're not late. Okay. How about you just go back to sleep if you want? I didn't mean to bother you. I just wanted to check up on you, see if you were doing all right. I know you probably didn't have. I don't know. I don't How about you just go back to sleep and I will get myself gone? How about that?
No, I'm fine. It's fine. Do you need anything? Are we doing anything?
No, nothing's. You don't need. I don't need anything. Nobody needs anything. I mean it when I say you are welcome to go back to sleep if you want. But if you do not want to go back to sleep, I believe breakfast is being arranged. Possibly.
Breakfast?
Food. You like food, right?
I hope so.
Okay. Oh, that was a strange sort of an answer. How about let's get you some food and you can decide if you like it or not.
Okay.
Okay. And Susanna will walk out of the tent.
What the fuck did I just walk into?
Susanna was waiting for Clancy to wake up, and then Clancy woke up.
Oh boy. Okay, I'm cleaning litter boxes, so I'll be done when.
Clancy kind of went from being asleep to being awake very quickly.
Oh boy.
It was not good. It was not good. It was bad. Another botched interaction for Susanna Crow and another sketchy thing for Clancy.
I mean, I already don't trust Clancy, so
We shouldn't trust Clancy.
I don't know what to do with them, and Vias doesn't like them very much.
I mean, it doesn't matter if we don't like them or not. We just need to get breakfast for the child.
They're very tall.
Feed the boy. Or feed them.
Feed them.
Feed the kiddo.
Feed the child.
Feed them.
Feed the child. Oh, God.
Sorry, I'm used to saying him for Dylan.
Yeah, no, don't worry about it. Clancy's cool with it's just as soon as you start calling them mister that they have a problem.
Excuse me? What is this?
What?
Ooh, what's this?
Gender title? What's that?
I don't understand.
So Susanna comes out of the tent.
Yeah,
So we currently have Susanna, Vera, Diona, Talia around the fire. Vias is, as far as I'm aware, still in his tent. Clancy's still waking up and hasn't emerged yet. The dwarf is still asleep, and Lena has headed off to do something.
I don't trust what Lena's doing, by the way.
I will have you know that Lena is the legitimate most trustworthy person, apart from maybe Diona, in this party so far.
Yeah, I know, but still.
Are you kidding?
no, it's true.
Vias has been very forthright.
Okay, no. I'm sorry, but Lena and Diona are trustworthy.
Vias is just weird because it's like
Bias is weird.
shit.
Bias is too weird to be trustworthy right now. Anyway, Susanna,
None of you have asked Lena enough questions for her to be open and honest about things as yet.
who needs questions when you can avoid all your problems?
Exactly. You don't just talk about these things to people.
You know?
Good morning, everyone.
D&D things, Dad. D&D things.
Oh, Tolly just goes, "Good morning."
How'd you sleep?
Me?
I mean, I didn't sleep a lot, but that's normal for me. I don't think it's normal for all of you, which is a little bit all right. But I'm fine.
Hello?
The kid wants breakfast.
I still don't know what breakfast is.
It's food. I told you.
Yeah, but... Okay.
I would figure at this point that even if Diona is kind of a little wary of Clancy, between her and Veyra, they will be foisting food on the child.
I think you saw Talia's like, "Good morning," like smile face, like as soon as they noticed Clancy stepped out behind you, like emotion shut down.
Cool. Love that. That's great. That was great. Okay.
Are we still referring to Talia as Ansel at this point, by the way? I mean, Talia's not said anything to the contrary, have
Nope.
they?
Nope.
Okay.
Did Vias even hear Talia say that?
It was like right before people went to bed last night.
It was before bed. Yeah, it was like the announcement before bed was that that's not Talia right now.
Everyone was there. Whether everyone was in a mindset to pay attention is a different matter, but everyone was there.
Oh, gee.
Okay, after about 5 minutes or so, welcome back, Joe. Who might not be back in chat just yet, even though she's typing. After about...
I am back. It's just I needed to give you guys full
fine.
warning.
Welcome back.
Also, Clancy has walked out and there's a new person.
Oh.
Yeah, because
It's me.
they've been trying to address it, but like everything's just been kind of going, so they're just like rolling with it.
Okay.
This isn't new for them.
Talia has just been by Diona's side this whole time.
Yeah, I figured.
Is Vias still in the tent, or is Vias kind of out and joining everyone for breakfast by this stage?
I would assume he would probably leave and come out and join people.
Okay, so at which point then everyone bar Lena is around the fire somewhere or other.
Yeah.
Vias is pointedly not near Talia right now.
Yep, I actually have that on the little layout.
Good.
More by accident than anything, but still.
Yeah. He's probably sticking close to Susanna at this point.
I was going to say, actually, once Vias comes out, Susanna would go over to him.
Yeah, he's sticking close to her.
Vias and Susanna, the unlikely power couple.
Oh god.
He's got the words to say that are good, and he's got the charisma to wink at people very nicely.
It's the best we got, okay? It's the literal best we got right now.
Oh, that's a point. I don't have Lena's character sheet open. I need to make a roll. So breakfast is being served. There is tea, courtesy of Lena, who comes back after maybe, I don't know, 5 or 6 minutes. When my internet cooperates.
I have to prepare my spells at some point, but I'm still doing literally. Almost done.
Oh, that's a point. Everyone has hit points back. Everyone has missing spell slots back. Everyone has however many hit dice back. Half
Yay,
their hit
Vias
dice, I
is
believe
back
it
to
is.
28 hit points.
Oh god.
Save him! At level 3, I think he was at 18.
My bitch is at 43.
Holy shit.
Clancy has 44.
What the fuck? We need to kill Clancy, and we need to do it now.
This boy's got 3 levels of wizard in him.
Oh, that's how.
I don't
Wizard
trust
Clancy.
this hoe.
It's the tough feat. It's literally just the tough feat.
Bless.
Yeah, if Vias could afford to have more feats, he would take the tough feat, but he's not tough at all.
Very human.
Bless.
He's marshmallow fluff.
He is marshmallow fluff that can hit you very hard.
Vias is wonderful the way he is. You leave him alone.
Thank you. At least one person likes him.
We all like him.
I mean, as a player, I love Vias. As a character leader, not quite so sure.
Yeah.
You guys
Hi,
love
Dad.
guys.
I love Vias. Talia loves Vias.
I love
Everyone's
Vias.
just bad
Susanna loves no one, but she doesn't mind Vias.
Oh, that's good.
Okay, so Lena comes back after maybe, I don't know, 5 or 6 minutes or so, kind of drops down to sit behind the fire and nods good mornings at everyone. She just kind of grabs a cup of tea and some food and just kind of doesn't really speak.
So, how'd everyone sleep?
Bad.
Oh no, I'm so sorry to hear that.
Okay.
Vias just smirks into his tea.
Clancy just stares at her and just kind of goes, okay.
I mean,
Okay.
I could have slept better, but not too bad, really. I suppose.
Well, that's mediocre. Love that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was racked with nightmares. And then he just continues to sip his tea.
Oh no, I'm so sorry to hear that. With slightly more like genuine feeling than for Clancy, but not very much at all.
He just keeps his eyes closed as he drinks.
Downa?
Had too much to think about.
I don't know why I bother asking these questions. It really just sets the morning off on a negative start, doesn't it?
At least you
I
are a
do
bit of
appreciate your
normalcy,
concern,
Susanna.
Susanna.
Talia is silent.
Well, okay. So now that we know that nobody slept well, it's time to make a plan.
Yeah,
We
we
need a good one.
we need more of one
Well-
than we had the other day.
Vice, you were able to see them, right?
Yes.
See
Well, that
what?
means you need to be in the farm.
See what?
There are things in there that...
There's shiny things that you don't want to touch in there, and only some of us can see them.
Oh, wait, hold on. Out of character question. Could Clancy see them?
What's Clancy's class? I'm sorry, I've just been handed a cookie and now I'm eating.
Clancy has 3 levels of wizard and a +10 to Arcana.
Clancy can see them.
Okay.
What the fuck?
Clancy can see them? Oh, thank God. No use for Vias now.
Hey!
Wait.
Hey!
Orbs? You mean
Behave
like those?
yourself over there.
Yeah, orbs.
You better not have just said what I thought you just said, Ron.
We have that on recording. That's on file.
Ren,
I'll behave. He's
Ren,
not going to kill himself. It's fine.
Ren, sweetheart, you better behave now.
Yes,
Oh, I don't like that. Oh, God, I don't like that.
Plans. We're making plans, and now I'm back in character. I'm not.
I think at whatever point both Talia and Diona are finished with breakfast, Talia scrambles up Diona's shoulders.
Clancy stares.
Well, I suppose if Vias can see them, it makes sense to have Vias and maybe myself or Vera or Diona up front, and then the rest, whoever isn't up front behind, and then everyone else in the middle.
If we have a keen enough eye, you can spot the glint with the torchlight. So it's not entirely futile to have other people searching for them.
And if we have small pieces of things like rocks or copper coins, maybe, we can place them down below. Or I can. They don't seem to want to attack me.
Right. And we're going to keep it that way because none of us are going to make any foolish decisions like straying too close or
Don't
reaching
get
out.
within 5 to 10 feet of the people that are frozen.
Okay.
They will attack you, and they won't show any mercy. And I
Oh.
don't feel like killing any more today.
You act as if we've killed someone already today. We haven't even killed anyone today. We killed people yesterday.
Susanna, you are not helping.
I mean, today as in now, right now.
Okay.
I
I'm sorry. Do you have a question, Clancy?
There's people in there? Yeah, like I can see them outside, but they're in there? Like, how does that?
There's people in there.
And they attack you? For nothing?
if you get too
People
close
went
to
in.
them, yes.
Oh, if you get too close to them, then that makes sense.
They are able to use, some of them are able to use spells that they have. I assume they are from when they were in control of their bodily functions.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay, let's. This isn't. We're gonna have to keep stopping and explaining things every 30 seconds if we don't just. Clancy,
No, I know how to not ask questions, if that helps.
you need to know what's going on if we're gonna bring you in there, which I believe is the plan.
I mean, I'll just go in anyway.
No, you won't. You'll go in with us, or you won't go in at all. Do you want to go in with us?
Yes.
Nod for yes. Okay, thank you. So,
What else do we know? We need to lay it out.
there's collapsed tunnels in there. There's hallways. There's structural damage that's rocks have come down and blocked off passageways. And that could happen again while we're in there.
There's
Right.
something evil in there, but the place as a whole doesn't feel evil to me. It's too specific for that.
There's a time limit.
Yeah. There's a time limit. An hour is safe. It can apparently go more, but an hour is the guaranteed. Susanna and I both have a watch, so we can keep an eye on the time.
Yes.
My thought is, at the very least, if for some reason we do need to split off, we should try and have someone who's good at range and someone who's better up close, just as if for some reason we do have to split up.
System.
I am good at both, but long range is preferable for me.
I can do range. I'm not a fighter, but I can do range.
Okay, let's talk about this. So, there's 7 of us. So that's 2 pairs and a group of 3. Clancy goes with a group of 3. If we need to split up, which I do not recommend we do under any circumstances, but if the need comes,
But should it become
Agreed.
necessary?
Don't split up. Don't split up. That's how you get caught.
I think in the one group that I won't be in, somebody should have mercy with them. I will know where she is at almost every time. So if we split up,
don't
then
know that we should split up at all, unless there's really no other choice.
Yeah,
I only mean in dire circumstance.
We-
It's only a precaution.
we need to plan and prepare for the eventuality that we may have to split up, so that if we do split up, we are not completely without some guidance.
We just need to cover every base, even
No.
if it doesn't come to it.
I fully agree. We stay together, because if we split off, that's just going to end poorly. But if we need to split into groups, big if, what should the groups be? Have a buddy. Stick with your buddy.
Can I go with you?
I would say myself and Vera should be in separate groups. Then you have at least somebody with holy abilities in both groups.
Right.
Perhaps.
Wait, what did Clancy say just then?
I want to go with you.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Well, okay, that changes that plan.
I mean, I don't have to. But, you know, I can do whatever. I'm cool with whatever.
I'm fine with whatever group is first.
I'm good at a lot of
Talia.
different things.
Talia is silently braiding and rebraiding Diona's hair.
So
Ansel, if it comes to it, would you be willing to go with Susanna?
I.
Alright.
Susanna is shocked.
I mean, I don't see why Susanna's shocked. She's blatantly just adopted Clancy.
No, she is dealing with a kid.
All right, then she's been adopted by Clancy. How's that?
That too.
Volunteered for adoption.
Clancy's basically been like, well, you've been nice to
This
me
one
exactly
once. Seems good.
Clancy doesn't know
Yeah,
what...
and that is all she will be nice to them ever.
Clancy
That's
doesn't...
it.
Clancy doesn't really
He doesn't
what
know that
niceness
yet,
is.
but that's it.
And if it comes to it, maybe I should go with Vias. No, that doesn't. Try to balance out the healing abilities. But
yeah,
no,
I was going to say, if it's me and Clancy and potentially Ansel, then we don't have...
Yeah.
And I am ranged, and I will only ever be ranged. I cannot shoot point blank.
I have melee attacks. I may not be the strongest, but I can hit hard.
Talia is watching Clancy out of the corner of their eye.
Clancy stares back.
Well, then maybe if I go with Susanna and Ansel, would that make sense?
And Vera looks after Clancy?
Yes.
Okay, and then it's Vice and you, Diona?
Yeah, that.
Vice just looks at you. And then he nods.
Well, that should work. There.
And it means we can cover bases until we can get back together.
Yes.
So what are the groups again? Just out of character.
It's Susanna, Lena, Talia, Vera and Clancy, Bias and Diona.
Yes, because we have to work around some current group schisms.
This is not my fault.
Bias is not gonna be talking about it in there. No fucking
I know.
way.
No, that wasn't the plan, but...
We can't make groups with the ideal, figuration because of people's bullshit.
Yeah, what the fuck?
I'm sorry. But yeah, Diona, I think you've noticed that whenever Vias is brought up, Talia tenses a little bit.
Yeah, that's putting Talia in a different group.
Yeah.
With Susanna, who is ideal for blood pressure in every situation.
I mean,
yes, but Susanna does not currently have any reason to make things worse for Talia, even accidentally.
I mean, she might shoot some folks. Just kidding.
I think you guys noticed that Vias looks very uncomfortable.
Well,
he doesn't look happy.
No real way you could split the groups otherwise and still have kind of somebody who's vaguely tanky and a healer on each group.
Yeah,
or at least one healer in each group.
Doesn't work.
Yeah, but we're not going to split
Vias
if we can
is a
avoid
healer,
it,
so-
Amy.
There is nothing in that temple that is beyond this group's ability. It's just that we are all fuck-ups, and that is not my fault.
Beyond our ability to not fuck up. The whole temple is beyond our ability to not fuck up. Amy!
I just want
As
you
we've
to get
already
to a
seen.
puzzle. Please just do one puzzle and I will let everyone walk away.
Oh, whatever. It's fine. Don't worry about it. We gotta find Dylan.
Okay, so groups have been assigned. I'm content with this. Everyone else, at least, not hating it.
Vias scritches Mercy's neck and nods. I'm fine with this.
I can work with. I will work with anyone in this group.
Okay. Clancy, are you okay going with Vera?
I don't. Okay. I don't know Vera. Well, I don't know any of you, so does it matter?
Well, Clancy, this is Vera. Vera, this is Clancy. Now
Hi.
you know each other. Congratulations.
I don't think that's how it works.
It is how it works. Believe me, I have been around a lot and I know exactly how these sorts of things work.
How old are you?
How old am I?
Oh, shit.
It is
Okay, I
terribly impolite to ask a lady her age.
What?
I think perhaps we should make sure of the rest of the plan before this gets any.
I
Oh,
would
come
say
on.
yes, we need to. We're getting distracted.
Susanna is fuming. She is
I'm-
livid. She is furious under her veil. You just
I'm-
can't see it.
I'm confused.
Oh, don't worry about it, sweetheart.
Is Susanna anywhere near, or is Vias anywhere near Susanna?
Yeah, he's right next to her.
Right next to Susanna.
He's just going to gently pat her arm and just say, "Don't worry."
I'm not worried.
Lena is going to make an insight check on Clancy at that one
About what?
to see if he's telling the truth about being confused, if he's genuinely confused, or if he's just saying that to kind of diffuse the situation.
They're genuinely
15.
confused. They're genuinely confused.
Okay, fine.
So, Virus takes point because he can see the glints without needing to rely on a torch. And we stay together if possible and don't get in arm's reach of those bastards.
Yes.
If we don't touch anything and try and give as much of those things and the people as wide a berth as possible.
And for the love of God, please get a second opinion before you touch anything.
I mean, I know that we're going in there to find Dylan, and that's obviously our primary objective, but I really would like to kind of at least have some idea of what is causing all of this, what is affecting all of these people. It doesn't seem right to walk away and not leave them with at least some answers to protect the people.
Yes, I do agree with that. But I'm not leaving the temple without Dylan. Regardless.
Vice,
Susanna.
if it has been 2 hours and we have not found Dylan, you will be leaving the temple without him, and we
You
will
will
try
not
again
decide
tomorrow.
that for me.
If it comes to 2 hours, we can all walk out and go back in.
And we make sure we have all of us when we go out.
The clock is the master here, okay? You don't stay.
I'm not
beyond
going to
2
be stupid and risk myself.
Okay.
I appreciate that, honey.
We have
I-
to leave one person behind. We cannot leave another behind.
And if it comes to time or grabbing Dylan, I will grab Dylan and chance time.
Okay.
I'm not going to chance you.
Okay.
None of
How-
you.
Diona, you feel Talia is very like it's almost your scalp hurts a little bit.
Okay.
It's not visible, I don't think, unless anyone wants to insight check Talia. But Diona, you can feel it.
Yeah.
Can Vias insight?
Let's try to make
You
sure
can
that's not
certainly
necessary.
try. Yeah.
We're just going to tackle this in a logical and efficient manner.
Yep, nope, 9. He's done with this shit. Not
No.
even paying attention.
Talia's deception was a 7, so yeah, you fucking notice.
Oh! I don't think he does anything.
Anyway, if that becomes necessary, we'll figure it out. Sorry, Susanna, I didn't mean to interrupt.
That's fine.
We should do this as quickly as possible, too.
Yes.
No breaks or short rests if we can help it.
No, we just keep moving through. Check each place carefully.
And
See what we can find, and then keep moving. We don't stop to poke around at something if it doesn't.
If our time limit is 2 hours, we could always go in, come out, take a short rest, and go back in again. Hopefully that would reset everything.
Yes. Maybe. I don't
We
know.
couldn't get concrete answers one way or the other, but
That's
is that what we
certainly
want to work with? come to it.
It would be a risk.
What else can we do to prepare for this? Do you have any ideas, everyone?
Don't die.
That is a good answer, but not quite what I'm asking.
That was a good contribution, though.
Thanks.
But it's just gives a
Well-
weak laugh.
Susanna kind of elbows him in the side a little bit.
Possibly see if they have something we can use to mark locations.
Yes.
I know we're supposedly supposed to be mapping this, but
If anybody has
marking
caltrops
so we don't get-
or something small like that, stones maybe.
We could
Large
grab
enough to
stones
see
from the
at a
dirt on the way in.
distance.
We can grab stones on the way in.
You just hear quietly, I've got caltrops.
That would work.
They nod. They don't look up from Diona's hair, but they nod.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, caltrops, because just in case we forget where they are, we want to be painfully reminded. That works.
At least they are more shiny and physical. And
True.
I do have a light spell that I can use to make sure that at least we can see them when we're leaving or going.
And it means we won't get turned around as easily if we can. And if the path splits, we know that we can put our marker down routes we've taken.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Hmm. Okay.
I just get this unpleasant sensation that we're forgetting something quite important, and I have no idea for the life of me what it might be.
Our sanity?
Oh, I think that's been missing a while.
I agree.
I mean, that's entirely possible.
Maybe you're
Good.
missing this. Maybe you're missing this Dylan.
Vias's face contorts and he just looks away.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe we are.
Yeah.
We should check the dwarf.
Right.
I already did. She's still asleep. It seems a natural sleep, from what I can tell, but I spoke to Mira, and she's going to have someone sit with her today.
So you don't
Keep an
think
eye on.
you don't think we ought to try and wake her up properly before we go in?
I mean, we could try, but
I'd like to.
I'm a little hesitant to do so after she's possibly been through.
I mean, we don't have to slap her awake or nothing. If she's been hurting, we can just, I've got some smelling salts we can use.
We can try.
It would be good to. If we can wake her up, that means we know for certain that when we find Dylan.
I know, I'm not sure I want to do that before going in there, if I'm honest.
Well,
I
and
want
Vice is
to.
gonna stand up and I would like to at least see them once. Maybe my lady will tell me something. She's not that strong during the day, but
Okay. Here's the first question. Very important question. If we're going to wake up the lovely young woman, which one of us do you suppose has the friendliest face?
I would say Vaya is probably the best bet.
Okay. I will trust your judgment on that.
If nothing else, she's another dwarf, and she's a cleric.
Cyrus an elf.
She's not a dwarf, she's an elf.
An elf. Sorry, where am I going with my brain
Because she
today?
speaks
Sorry. I'm in entirely the wrong game. Sorry, my game on Sunday has a dwarf cleric. Don't mind me.
Very good.
Vera just fucking turned into a dwarf overnight, and
Oh my lord!
Totally
my
valid. I forgot how to
brain.
play Vias after 2 weeks because I've been playing a fucking blood hunter.
like,
God.
She doesn't care about jack shit.
Oh, it doesn't help. I've rolled a dwarf cleric this afternoon for something else.
oh my goodness. Okay, so reset that. Who do we think has the friendliest face?
I mean, I still think Vera.
Okay.
As a cleric. And a trained healer.
That's smart. Okay.
Yeah, I think Vera might be the safest bet, because at this point it would probably either be Vera or Vias. And
Let's.
Fiona kind of half shrugs.
Vias just lifts his eyebrow slightly.
At which point Lena's like, or myself.
That's true. You're also a holy woman. But I get the feeling that you don't necessarily want to do this, so maybe your heart wouldn't be necessarily in the task. So
Vias and Vera then, and the rest of us make any preparations we can.
right. Do y'all want the smelling salts, or are you gonna try and just smack her up?
I'm not going to hit her. But, yeah, smelling salt.
Okay.
Thank you.
Susanna will reach into one of her many, many pockets full of secrets and pass.
Vias will take.
Is it just you and Vera that are heading into the tent?
And Mercy.
And Mercy. Okay, as you head in, it's you can kind of see the dwarf bundled into bedrolls, kind of at the kind of opposite the opening, kind of tucked into a secure corner between kind of two of the tent posts, so that if they were to wake, they couldn't kind of scramble out below the tent flap or anything. It's kind of the most secure place you can have in a tent, which is, you know, made of canvas and inherently not that stable and secure. She's kind of bundled up in the blankets in lieu of being kind of tied up, kind of securely swaddled. And as you walk in and your eyes adjust to the light in there, she looks as...
Okay. I don't know what to do. I mean, Vias might go to the bed and...
Okey-doke.
Huh?
Okey-doke.
And then he'll... If there's, like, some sort of chair nearby, maybe he'll sit nearby and, like...
I mean, all the kind of bedrolls and everything are set up on the floor, so he'll be just kind of kneeling
he'll
beside
cross,
the bedroll.
yes. He'll probably kneel down and... As much as one can kind of meditate on that, like, connection, he's going to place his hand over his heart and kind of just try to do something as in, like, will her awake at some point. Maybe he's just trying to test it and see if maybe the Moonweaver will give him something.
Okie doke. In that case, then, if you're looking to the Moonweaver, I'd say make a religion check.
Yes. Fuck. Nope. He's off his game today.
It's the wrong time of day, and with everything that's gone over the last few days, your mind is kind of not 100% kind of focused the way you know it needs to be, and you get the impression that there's something there just out of grasp, but at the moment you can't tell what that is. The dwarf still appears to be asleep. Her colour is good. She seems to be breathing normally.
Good. Okay. And he'll lean back on the balls of his feet and dust off his knees. And says in Celestial, just like a thank you to the mover, just in thanks, just for her presence, I guess.
Thanks for jack shit.
Thanks for jack shit, but I love you anyways. Yeah, we still cool.
I am going to Jaeger Vera at this moment for a...
Come on, beer mom.
I would say a medicine check. Just to kind of do a hands-on check of the dwarf to see what is going on.
Do us well, beer mom. Oh God, what's with our 9?
9.
Would Vias be offering assistance?
I mean, he could because he is proficient.
I mean, I rolled for Lena earlier and Lena failed the check.
His medicine is +2. He's not proficient though.
Yeah, I mean...
He's proficient in
Lena-
religion
well,
though.
Lena failed it with a 14, so... Vera at this point will kind of just... After a few minutes of kind of checking over, will kind of sit back on her heels and be just like... She's resting peacefully. It's the best I can tell at this moment. If I had more time, maybe I could tell more. I have no idea what Lena's speech, Vera's speech pattern is, but hey.
Hold on. Vias has detect magic prepared. I wonder if that would work.
As a spell or as a ritual?
I don't know if he can. Well, he has it set as both. I don't know. Because it can be done as a ritual. I don't know.
I can't remember if warlocks can ritual cast.
He can ritual cast.
It's a race thing, is it?
No. Or,
Yeah.
I don't remember.
That might not be.
No, it's not. It's not an Asimov thing.
No, it's his Celestial Pact thing.
Welcome to Dungeons and Dragons, where nobody knows how shit works.
I was explaining GMing to one of my new players the other day, and I'm like, it's basically knowing when to improvise, knowing when to admit shit's gone off the rails, and 100% an ability to bullshit your way out of trouble. Which pretty much is D&D.
Sounds about right.
I would say you can try detect magic if you want to.
Because it's part of his blah, 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 what do you want to call it?
Is it his invocation?
No, it's not his invocations. It's his multi-class.
Okay, he's got it from Druid.
Yes, Druid. There we go. My mind was not working. I mean, he can spend a spell slot to do that if that's...
I mean, if he
Yeah,
has
but I
it,
think you do have the ability to ritual cast from Druid, so
yeah.
Okay, so...
why not?
I mean, you might as well save the spell slot if you can.
Okay. So...
God knows we're gonna need it.
Yep. So who will begin casting Detect Magic as a ritual?
Okay, which is, I believe, 10, 11 minutes.
Mm.
Okie doke.
For the duration, you sense the presence of magic within 30 feet of you. You sense the magic in this way. You can use your action to see a faint aura around any visible creature or object, and there's magic, and you learn at school. I'll just fucking here.
I would say make a note that you do have this running for the next 10 minutes after this.
Okay.
You do not detect any magic coming from the door. You do, however, detect kind of several auras from kind of just outside the tent where various people are still sat around the campfire, but there's nothing from the dwarf.
Ooh, hey. So she's not affected by any... Okay, so he nods and says, she's not affected by anything magical, that I can tell. Okay. Well, this will be in handy for the next 10 minutes. Let's go.
I think while this is going on, Diana, Talia leans down at some point and just kind of quietly trying to, keep it between the two of you to go, Vias and I had a talk.
I kind of guessed that.
It didn't go well.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
They just kind of go back to doing your hair.
Can I perception to listen in on that like an asshole?
Yes! Stick your nose in shit, Susanna.
I mean, I would say you can, but you are on the other side of the fire and there are kind of other people around.
So, disadvantage on perception? Or, just...
Either that or they will have... I don't know.
I say disadvantage.
I would say at disadvantage because Charlie's trying to be sneaky and quiet, yeah. It was either or a -5 modifier.
well, that's okay. It was a long time.
Yeah. You might be able to make one word out of every 20, if that, but they're mostly kind of, the and things like that aren't really of any use.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Vengeance from God.
This is what you get for being nosy.
That's not all she got for being nosy.
I don't like that. I don't like that.
I don't like it, and I kind of know things about Susanna.
Suffer.
A bit of comfort for Susanna. She knows Diana's too fucking stupid to betray anyone.
That's nice of her. Betrayal is a good time. Anyway.
Okay, so as I assume Vias and Vera are going to leave the dwarf in the tent, because as the group are having Ellie, the young human girl who kind of greeted everyone as we came into the camp a day or so before, starts. You see her kind of come over and kind of bob like a half curtsy, kind of nervously, and hi, yeah. Mira said I was to sit and look after the dwarf. Is that okay?
Yes, that's fine.
Okay, well, I'll just, which tent is she in? And I'll just go and, I have some paperwork to do, so I'll sit outside the tent, and then I can keep an eye on her, and I can get some work done.
Bias points to a different tent.
God damn it.
The shit?
So she heads over to the tent, completely trusting of you, kind of bends down, peers in, and realizes no one in the tent, turns around and kind of goes,
Oh, sorry, the other one!
make a deception check.
He's feeling like an asshole today.
Did he do that in view of people? Did we notice him pull that shit?
Probably. Deception, right?
Yep.
Oh my god. God damn
Hang
it.
on, I'm rolling contra to this when the thing opens. Wakey, computer.
Wakey.
Oh my god, Bias.
Shit.
So she kind of glares at you, Bias, and she's just like, you don't need to be so rude, and kind of walks over to and look at this point. She looks around at the rest of the group and completely blanks Bias. Which tent is the dwarf in, please, so I can actually, do the job I volunteered to do?
I am so sorry about that, honey. The dwarf was in that tent, and Susanna will point to, hopefully, the correct tent, because...
Susanna's already knows that one tent was the one that Vias co-opted on his own, and the other one is the one that Clown was in. So by process of elimination, Susanna will know which tent it is. And
okay, good.
She kind of heads over that way and kind of peers inside and looks back and nods at the group. And
To be
right.
fair, though, Vias, after he said that first part, did point to the right tent.
Yeah, she's still totally blanking Vias at this point. She's not impressed. Well, I'll stay here until you get back, and I'll keep an eye on her, and we'll be good. It'll be fine, you see. And if she wakes up, I'll make sure she gets some medical attention.
Thank you ever so much, honey. This is so helpful for us.
You're very welcome. And she kind of smiles widely at Susanna.
Susanna smiles back, but she's got the veil on.
Sorry again for yesterday. Thank you for agreeing to do this.
Oh, well, that's okay. I mean, this place is a little creepy, so it's kind of understandable that people would be, on edge when they come closer, so it's totally fine. I'm happy to help. And Mira's been, well, I'm happy to help.
Can I insight check this bitch?
Yeah, Vias is suspicious. Can he insight too?
Yeah, that's... Oh my god, Vias!
He's having trouble. He can't roll above a 9 today. What is with the 9s? Oh my god!
She seems completely genuinely sincere.
Oh thank god, Susanna.
Thank you, Susanna.
Y'all are
She seems completely genuinely sincere. Susanna does pick up as she's talking about Mira an ever so slight blush.
Ooh! Ooh!
But she still seems completely genuinely sincere.
Doing this is a special favor for Mira,
You get the impression that someone has a crush.
I am delighted.
Wait, what? I missed that.
Ellie has a big old crush on Mira, and she's awkward because of it. It's adorable.
Aww.
Susanna is the only one who picks up on this.
This is great
She
because
is
it makes
indeed.
sense because Vias doesn't understand romantic signals at all.
Excellent. Okay. Now that that's been dealt with.
Okay, I think we should go.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. The sooner we set off, the more opportunity we have to come out and rest and go back in today.
What time did Mira say that Gilman would be back?
She didn't.
She didn't?
I believe she said sometime today.
Don't like that. Okay.
From the notes I have, anyway.
Okay.
I don't know where my notes are.
I know, sorry, in a notebook on the other side of the house.
I know exactly where my notes are, and I don't seem to have written it down.
Awesome sauce.
It was like either 1 or 2 days. Because it was like
Yeah.
we'd have to wait several days for him to get here.
Yeah, we'd have to
And
wait
we're
to talk to him, and we were not about that shit.
I literally have the very useful no Gillen right now written down.
Love that.
Because I'm pretty sure it was like, oh, he'll be here in like 2 days, and we're like, fuck.
I think it was a
He
day or
just
two.
left.
That's convenient. That's entirely too convenient. But anyway, let's be off. Let's get going. Let's get our asses into gear and into the temple.
I'm
Okay,
ready to solve puzzles.
As you all head into the temple, there is a kind of hag bone in this sort of direction that Talia tried to throw in the direction of kind of this manifestation here. But didn't
Vias
quite
does still have the detect magic up.
Yep.
Talia will just kind of awkwardly, really quickly scramble down from Diona's shoulders, go get the hag bone, and then back on Diona's shoulders.
I love Talia so fucking much.
Talia deserves better, okay?
That's so true. Talia deserves
Yeah.
to be the good of the world.
That
Vias is-
since...
Sorry,
Sorry,
go
go on. No,
Uh,
go for it.
Vias would just kind of like clear his throat a little bit and just say, Ansel, could you borrow me a couple caltrops?
Talia will take one of their 2 bags of caltrops and give it to Vias real quick. Like, sort of drop it, toss it gently from where they're on top of Diona's shoulders.
Vias will take it.
Why do you have 2 bags of caltrops?
For the same reason they have 6 million daggers.
Because fucking Becky gave me 50 gold to start off with, even though I was like, Talia doesn't understand money. She was like, here's 50 gold, spend it. And I got desperate trying to spend it all.
See, I gave it all back in favour of a slightly better Warhammer, so...
Gee.
I spent it all on guns.
Vias,
I had a lot to start out with, though.
Vias spent it on a horse.
I spent a little on better armor.
Listen, I also had to like think about what theoretically Talia could have, considering their backstory and where they're from. So like 2 bags of caltrops, I guess.
It's just the way you described Talia to start with, and then was just like, yeah, they have all these knives. I just had kind of visions of this tiny little spiky hedgehog person, kind of, with massive "stay away from me" vibe.
I think Vias has about the same number of knives as Talia. He's just very good at hiding them.
Talia has 6 knives.
Vias has, I think, 5.
Oh, wow.
1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think he has several.
Lena has 1.
And he has at least 3 knives,
Susanna
or 3
has 2.
daggers.
I think one of the things Talia does notice is that, right before we're about to head in, Diana slides something that's covered in cloth over her hands.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Okay. Talia does not say anything.
Yeah. Shit is probably totally fucked, so Diana is resorting to one of the few weapons she carries.
Love it.
Okie dokie. Vias is going to lead the charge.
So,
So, since Vias has Detect Magic up, and the sun is now significantly up above the trees enough that there is enough light, it is currently about 7:45 in the morning. I would say that you can make it pass. You will notice you can place a caltrop, if you like, at each of where these 3 manifestations are.
Yeah.
And I will say that the group makes it to the entrance of the temple inside a couple of minutes. It's kind of reasonably easy with the light quality and with Vias being able to kind of detect where these are.
Yep, I'll do that.
I would say as you get to the temple doors, you probably have 3 minutes left of Detect Magic between talking to everybody and getting going and everything.
Gotcha. That's fine.
As we approach the temple doors, Talia finishes off what they were doing with Diana's hair, squeezes their shoulders twice, hops off, and then goes to stand next to Susanna.
Vias looks back at Susanna.
Okie doke.
Takes a deep breath, and he will wait for Diona to walk forward and then...
Swapping maps.
Yeah.
So...
You probably want to remove Dylan from this map.
Yes,
There he
I
is.
do.
Damn
We
it.
found him!
Yeah, because if he was right there, then that would have just...
Vias would just run to him and just pick him up and drag him out.
So, marching order, we have Vias and Diona, I assume, at the front.
Yep.
Lena and Vera will probably be bringing up the rear, which leaves Talia, Susanna, and
Clancy in the middle.
He's so small!
Tiny.
Yeah.
Tiny
That's
for such a
because-
large boy.
It's
There they
because
are.
the
Large
aspect
person.
ratio on this map is different.
Yes.
Okie doke. I would say as well, it's going to take you literally a less than a minute to kind of get up into the temple proper. So you will be able to kind of mark where these 3 manifestations easily
Okay.
enough.
He will do so.
Okey-doke. So there is a coal trap roughly below where each of these are bobbing around. They are kind of moving backwards and forwards a little bit.
I think when he places them, he has light as a cantrip. So I think when he places them, because light is a touch spell, he's going to light each cow trap
You
as
can
he
only
goes.
have one instance of light going at a time.
No, I know, but he's lighting them as he's placing them, so you guys know where they are.
Okay. Make
So-
me an Arcana check, please, then, Bias.
Oh, hey.
That's interesting.
Bias is going to concentrate on being as smooth as possible. Hey!
Okay, so as you kind of light the first one and place it kind of, you don't kind of place it, you kind of roll it across the floor to land under the first manifestation. It kind of, you notice kind of the aspect of the manifestation change the instant you kind of activate that spell, and it kind of vibrates ever so slightly for a moment before kind of seeming to settle down again.
Does he sense anything as in, like, aggravation or...
There's a certain degree of kind of not aggression, but almost kind of a sense of kind of
Sarah!
uncertainty
Mom!
and trepid. Hey!
Hello.
You're quiet, but
Hello.
Hi!
Honey. Be a mum.
The gang's
You
all
have
here!
good timing. You have good timing. We just walked into the murder temple again.
Great, tight.
I don't want to be here anymore.
Okay.
Let's just get done and get out.
So, we're gonna stay together, but should it come to splitting off, Danavias, Talia, Susanna, Lena, and
Yeah.
Vera and Clancy.
Clancy is your buddy. Stick with Clancy if we get split up.
We have the buddy
You
system.
are the adult supervision to keep Clancy from stabbing us in the back.
Basically.
Bold of you to assume Clancy's capable of that.
Also, it has been tense.
It's been rough.
Yeah, everything is a clusterfuck.
I imagined. What else
Okay.
happened
I think
so
we
far?
really need to fix the schedule so you can be here from beginning of session, because I really think we need BMO.
We're not adults. We need supervision.
Bold of you to think that she would make things better.
Look, she would at least make things feel better.
It would be calmer here.
We'd get drunk if she was here.
That's
Hell
true.
yeah.
And she'd be able to tell people you're a fucking idiot.
I'm right, you're wrong, shut up.
True.
Basically.
Yeah.
Listen, it's amazing what having someone who will call you out on being a fucking idiot who's bad at communicating will do for communication.
Pius has tried. Just doesn't get received well.
Talia has also tried.
Look, we're not gonna get into
They're
this again.
trying with each other, though, which is the problem.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Before we continue, I rejoined as a player. Can somebody give me access to Clancy's token? Because I can't do anything with it.
Oh, yeah. Hang on.
Oh my god. I'm sorry, I shouldn't find that amusing, but
Hang on.
I've
It's
just
because
been
it's
in
not
his-
been
No,
assigned on here.
You, Josh.
What?
Character privileges revoked.
Yeah,
There you go.
I've been kicked out of the
Try
group.
that.
Only.
I think that should work. Try
Yes,
Yeah.
now I have control of my
Josh,
mind.
honestly,
Mhm.
considering what happened with the last character you had control over, it's possible your privileges have been revoked.
Do
I-
you
I'm
you
no
have
longer
the
allowed
right
to
to
play.
another one?
I can't play D&D.
You've just been banned from D&D entirely.
No, more D&D.
Anyway.
Right.
Where even was I? Yes, Vias. You kind of get the impression it's a little kind of apprehensive, and nervous almost. And then you remember that the last one seemed to dislike magic being cast in its vicinity the day before.
Well, he just wanted to test it too at the same time. Okay. So he will not dispel. He will just drop the light spell then, since that's an at-will thing.
Okey-doke. So everyone you mark those 3 manifestations,
Mm.
and everyone hang on, moving everyone en masse because I remembered how to do that. Into the temple.
It's a very useful thing.
The 2 bodies of the group that attacked are still kind of laid where they were. There doesn't seem to have been kind of any disturbance to the bodies whatsoever.
Vice is going to take a good look around the room and see what he can see.
Okay, you can probably only make out kind of half the room from where you're standing.
No, I know. I mean, like, he's going to walk around and look around for those orbs.
Okie doke. There is one over here that you pinged the other day.
He'll mark it with a caltrop.
There is another one. Whoops-a-daisy. Here.
He shall mark that one with a caltrop as well.
And there is another one. Constantly pinging layers up here. And I would say with 3 minutes left, you just make out.
Actually, instead of getting to that, the one up top there, could he go to that archway on the left side? That weird
Over
doorway
here?
that they saw? Yeah. With whatever's remaining of
He
detect magic.
can head over there. There is, at that point, where are my notes? No, don't do that, computer. What the? Oh, why hit that button on your mouse? I have a button on my mouse that makes everything shrink to desktop, and I constantly
Oof.
catch it.
That's a mood.
No, that's a sensible thing to have bound to your mouse.
Remind me, did anything ever come of the dwarf that we dragged out of the temple? Is she still asleep?
She's asleep.
She's asleep. It seemed to be natural. Medicine checks didn't get any fucking information.
Yeah, me and
Y'all
you
rolled shit.
decided to look at the bodies, and we're like, yep, she's asleep.
Totally normal.
Well, Vias did use a detect magic spell, and she wasn't under any magical effect, so she's just very tired.
All right.
He's very
Okay.
tired.
Very tired.
There is over
Anything
here
else?
in this direction. There is kind of a doorway that an archway rather than a doorway that kind of leads off the main area, off this cloister.
Yes.
And it's kind of ornate and carved stone, similar in colour to the stone, the dark stone that makes up the walls. And you can see that it kind of heads into a corridor. In fact, I'll just mark out all of that beyond that seems to curve off into the darkness.
And does he sense anything from the archway?
Nope. It
No
is
magical
just stone.
essence at all?
Nope.
Oh, thank goodness. Okay. Well, then he will, since that spell is down now, he's going to, like, poke back to where everybody else is. Because he's been probably wandering around on his own.
Daniel would have been keeping at least within 10 feet of him.
Yeah. I think
That's
he would
not-
kind of call out to everybody too. Just look down at the ground if you're worried about stepping somewhere with one of those orb things. I'd just keep an eye out for those. I'll be placing caltrops underneath them. You'll see something shiny.
At
Sorry,
this
so-
point, hang on one second, PK. Can Clancy make me an Arcana check, please?
Ooh.
Come on, see him.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Can I see him?
Yeah, as you're kind of walking in, as Clancy looks around, they notice that wherever and you kind of notice this outside, but wherever Vias has placed a caltrop on the floor, there is this kind of shimmering heat haze kind of disturbance that occasionally flickers with the arcane blue light hovering in the air above it. Sorry, PK, you were saying?
There's a light spell up at the moment, or a torch, or are we in the
Vias would have cast light on her staff, I suppose.
dark? Okay. But while Vias has been wandering
As you
around.
head, it is dim light within the temple, occasional kind of almost a mage light effect.
Okay.
In this entranceway here, there is enough light kind of filtering down through the temple that you can make things out as if it were dim light.
Okay.
As you head further into the temple, and certainly if you head down the side passages, it's where the difficult to.
Since we didn't look at the other right side of those like two branching off Y-shaped intersections, can Vias just look down it real quick?
I believe you kind of hang on. Where's the map?
Because
You kind of noticed there was kind of a nosy into this. Where's my cursor? Oh, it helps if I click on the right thing. There was a nosy into kind of this area that revealed kind of this cluster of three people, and that this first kind of passageway on the right hand side was blocked.
Oh, not that one. Sorry, I was talking about the like Y intersection of entering the temple.
No,
part.
you didn't head back down that way. However, having walked kind of up the left-hand intersection and having seen kind of
Vias
the
just
right-hand
wants to
side
look
curve
down
round.
the corridor, or just look down that and see what's down there.
I mean, it just kind of seems to meet up with the section of the chamber of the temple that you walked in through.
And so there's nothing there. Okay.
There's nothing there of interest.
Okie dokie dokie.
Okay, but it was still worth.
Yeah, he just wanted to make sure nothing was hiding there.
No, there's nothing hiding there.
Okay. It just because it's covered with the black overlay thing. I was like,
I'm trying to remove it now, but my computer's
that's okay. Don't worry about it.
awkward.
It's fine.
I will remove it when Roll20 corporate.
Yeah, that's totally fine.
Hey, no, don't blank my screen.
Vias will turn to the rest of them and just say, okay, there's an archway of sorts on the left-hand side over here. I kind of want to do a quick scan of the rest of this room to make sure there's nothing else that we're not missing before we head in.
It's so big.
That seems like
This room is huge.
It's not... I just mean the perimeters of it, at least to make sure we're not going to be snuck up on or something. I mean, if you think it's a bad idea, we can just continue to the left, but what if there's different areas? And I don't know what the writing is on that archway.
The best way to tackle it is room by room. So if we've got a room here, we should clear that.
There's writing on the archway?
We haven't gone through it yet, but Vias has looked down the corridor at the very...
You mentioned writing, so Clancy heard you.
Okay.
There's writing on the archway?
Yes, there's writing. I couldn't decipher it. It's not a language I know.
Okay, can I look?
Go ahead.
Okay, Clancy goes over.
You
How
can.
about everyone goes over? Everyone goes over.
Okay.
Yeah, I think.
Oh, I can't read it?
What languages is Clancy proficient in?
Clancy is proficient in Common, Elvish, Sylvan, and Undercommon.
Okie doke. In that case, make me a history check.
Well, wrong button. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's not a language, it's not a language that you're familiar with, and you don't really recognize any of the symbols that make up kind of the carvings around the door. It seems to be a language of some sort, but it's not one that you know.
I need one more level of rogue and then I can get two more. Okay.
Does anyone in the group speak, and I'm giving something away here, does anyone in the group here speak Abyssal?
Nope.
Nope.
No.
No.
Lena's the closest,
Um,
and Infernal is different.
Yeah, Lena only speaks Infernal. In that case, no one recognizes
Darn it. Druids don't have
language.
comprehend languages. Shit. I have it with my blood hunter, who's the profane soul, and then I'm like, yes.
I have tongues, but I didn't take that spell
I
and it
should
doesn't do anything for written.
I should have taken comprehend languages for Clancy.
Oh well. It's whatever.
We'll just go in completely clueless, as is our usual
Let's
strategy.
go.
I
Yeah.
mean,
I am gonna go
I
ahead.
honestly, if I'm being honest with you all, I don't really want to go to the first doorway we see. There
As
might be
opposed to what,
more.
a third?
I don't know.
Surely it's worth taking a minute just to look at the very least and make sure that Dylan isn't in there.
If we follow this logically, it means we won't pass over anything just because we were too keen to move forward too quick. We have to tackle these things in an orderly fashion.
Talia just kind of clears their throat and goes, the best way to figure out a labyrinth is to put your hand on the left wall and just follow it. You might walk the entire thing, but you'll find eventually what you're looking for.
Do we have any chalk or charcoal or anything like that to mark where we've been?
If I pulls out a dagger, I can mark the walls.
That'll work.
I mean,
Good
that
grief,
was
of
why
course I have charcoal. Why wouldn't anyone have charcoal? Come on.
I think it's worth at least looking while we're here, and it saves us coming back later if we've already cleared this room before we move.
That's fine. I just thought I'd run it by you one more time.
All right.
I'm just worried.
I'm gonna have Veyra cast Detect Magic. Just have that running for the 10 minutes.
And Vias did do detect
I
magic on the
think.
archway and didn't feel anything, so.
I've got it for 10 minutes though, so I might as well while we're exploring.
Cuckoo.
Okie doke. Is everyone heading through the archway and down the corridor, or is just one person scout ahead?
Everybody.
No, we're moving in groups if we're moving, so
Okay,
there's
if
at
we're
least
moving.
two of us going down.
Yeah, me and Diona will go first.
Okay, if you two are going first, roll me a stealth check, please.
Oh, we have +5 because of the capes, right?
You do, I don't.
Okay, well, I'm gonna have to roll dex on here. It's just gonna be +5. 25.
Okie doke.
Well, you're fine.
Nyum.
Dana is not stealthy. She made that choice willingly.
Hey, that cloak and losing that
Hey.
disadvantage to stealth was the best thing.
Mm.
Okay, so as the two of you kind of range ahead of the group, and you both have dark vision, I believe.
Yes.
I do not, but there's a light source.
Okie doke. So as you kind of follow the corridor down, it eventually opens up. But I can just clear this whole area of darkness here. It eventually opens up into a kind of antechamber. And you can see from where you're standing that there's a few people kind of stood within the room. Again, they look like the kind of adventurers and explorers that you'd seen before, and they're all kind of just stood there staring into the middle distance. There are a series of columns kind of leading through the middle of the room to a set of steps, which leads up to a dais at the top with a sarcophagus, a large stone sarcophagus on it. And there are two kind of small braziers burning at either side of the dais. The flames seem kind of fitful and sluggish, almost as if they should be burning stronger than they actually are, but there's some kind of magical effect keeping them burning at a slower rate than the fire would normally consume. You do not see Dylan in this room.
Don't go near the people.
Maybe we should bring Veyra down here, Diona. You whispers this.
She's the one who can currently see.
She has
Make me an
detect magic,
Arcana
though.
check. Bias, make me an Arcana check.
Okie dokie dokie. He's trained in Arcana. Don't roll shit.
Exactly.
Oh, 20. He's making up.
Between kind of light source that Diona has and the two kind of weirdly burning braziers on the top, and kind of concentrating and focusing on what you can see in the room, you're pretty certain that there are no manifestations in this room either.
Gotcha. Well, I don't see any manifestations in here, but I think I would feel better if I got Vira in here and she could tell what that sarcophagus is. There's only one.
Or what's keeping those burning, because this has been abandoned for a long time, except for adventurers, and they wouldn't have lit those.
He just nods. Okay. And he'll back them up and try to go back to Vera quietly. And gesture for her to follow down.
In her very stealthy plate mail armor.
I think you did get one of the cloaks that
Oh, did I get one of those?
nullifies disadvantage.
Yeah.
Cool.
Wait, Susanna put that
And
on
gives a
Clancy.
+5 to stealth, I
Oh, I
believe.
get +5 too? Shit.
Yeah.
No, you don't get +5. It nullifies disadvantage.
Yeah.
If you have disadvantage, it nullifies it. If you do not have disadvantage, you get a +5. So it's effectively the same thing.
However, also with Diona and Vias having gone down there before, the DC has decreased.
Okay. Yeah, then she will go down.
But still roll me a stealth
Just-
check.
Yep. Did they just peek into the room, or?
They did.
Okay.
Yeah.
As
So did
far
the
as I'm
entryway
aware.
and backed out.
Yeah, she'll just go right.
Got
to
the
entryway.
entryway, got an idea of what was in there and how many people
Yeah.
to move around.
Natural 20.
Yes.
You make it positively silently and daintily and gracefully to the entrance of the room and kind of peer in. Your detect magic only has a range of 30 feet. Which is the problem.
Yep.
But there is no magic within 30 feet of you.
Could Vias have been following behind Vera?
Yeah, sure. I will take the stealth that you rolled before for that.
Okay. And he'll
Yeah,
just
I think that I will stay with the rest of the group and let Verivius check that out.
yeah.
and
He's just gonna keep a hand on the back of her cloak.
I would say it will be possible for you to kind of sneak around the people, certainly to get onto the stairs. Oops.
Yeah.
We.
Vias is just here for backup, just in case.
And I will take it on those stealth checks because none of them are particularly perceptive at the moment. So she's checking.
And if anything starts to spring out, Vias is just gonna ready an action for Sacred Flame if anything goes to attack them.
Okie doke. So you make it up to the steps. From there, I would say if you come to the top of the stairs, whoops, a daisy, measure. You'll be able to, you do not get a sense of magic from the sarcophagus. But you do get a sense of magic from the brazier in this area, which seems to have some sort of... It feels like maybe some sort of enchantment to keep the fire burning. The figure stood next to the sarcophagus does not seem to react to you at all, as you are still kind of 20 feet away from him.
Alright, I won't get any closer. You said there was nothing from the sarcophagus?
There was no sense of magic for this.
I feel like I should open it, but I also don't.
Do it. Do it.
Vias has his Sacred Flame ready, just in case.
I'm gonna get over here on this end and try and flip it towards the direction of the stairs so that I don't alert as best as I can. I'm just
Okay.
the bottom end open a little bit.
Make me a. I'm feeling kind. Make me an athletics check.
Okay.
Oh, I don't even know if I'm not even going to bother rolling. Yeah, you kind of lean against it as best you can, and you kind of take a grip, and as you kind of start to push, one of your hands just slides straight off it, and you crack your elbow slightly on the stone, and your arm kind of goes a little that achy numb when you've hit your funny bone. It doesn't seem to want to budge just yet.
Do you really want that open, Vera? Or do you want to wait?
I have a bad feeling, that's all.
I mean, I can be some sort of strong animal, but that might be kind of noisy. Maybe we should come back for this.
Let's wait.
Okay.
Before we leave, the flame, I have the spell slow. Do I get the impression that it's anything similar to that?
Make me an Arcana check.
Oh, I'm good at those. With my +0 to intelligence.
Hey, I mean, you might roll a 20. Hey!
16 is fine. It's not. You get the impression it's not entirely the same, but it's a similar sort of effect. It's some kind of sustaining spell on this fire to make it last longer than it might normally.
The people can stay in here for a long time. The fire keeps on burning. Probably some sort of connection. Alright, let's get out of here.
Yeah, I don't like the look of this place. Does this look like a cathedral of sorts, or just like some weird tomb thing? Because there's no pews or anything.
It's more a mausoleum than anything, and it does kind of have the fear that people come to pay their respects to the dead almost, or used to.
Vias will kind of like, as they're leaving, just stop for a moment, hold his staff to his chest and bow his head and give just a silent prayer. Just in that vibe and respect for the dead, and leave.
Okay, cue me a d20.
Roll a d20? Oh no.
Just a d20 roll.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh no.
Fuck, what'd I do?
Oh no.
Okay. As you stand there, you bow your head in prayer. Nothing seems to happen.
Oh, God.
The people around you don't move. The fires don't seem to change.
Did you just do that to mess with us?
Okay, first of all, I would never admit to it if I did. But no.
Okay, you did. You did.
Just does it because he's.
I have made a note of the number.
Oh, I hate that.
Hey, that's cool. Maybe that'll give Vias advantage on something because he respects the dead.
Because he rolled shit at respecting the dead, you mean?
I just need to AFK really quickly, guys. I'll be right back.
Oh no.
Okay.
I need a drink of water. I need some water, that's all.
Trying.
Drink some water, Amy.
I'm
He
gonna
has two gods to please. He doesn't know what.
I'm gonna AFK too real quick. I want food. I'm hungry.
I don't know what I'm doing. I have fucking crave cereal here. I'm just gonna eat that. It's fine.
You know, I'm not sure if Amy designed this with the intent of creating paranoia, but
I mean, I'm fine with it. Fuck me up. But
Joe,
damn it.
Joe. You gotta let me out of here, man. I can't stay in this place.
You can stay in jail. That's fine.
No, I fucking can't. I need freedom.
do you though?
I do, and the bribes are available.
Lord bribes for Dragon
Completely
Joe.
honest answer to any question, Joe. It's worth a lot.
Okay, but that concept was seriously cursed.
It fucking was. In fact, for that concept specifically, because I felt so disgusted by it myself, I will give you one completely honest answer and one blatant lie to two different questions. Yeah?
Those are fun.
Yeah? Yeah? That's a good deal, Joe. Thank you. Thank God. Okay.
I will hold those questions and I will ask them afterwards.
Excellent. Okay, cool.
And for the record, so we're all clear, everyone except Josh and Amy right now does have the opportunity to bribe. Josh and Amy are there until the end of the arc.
Guys, I'm looking at the artificer stuff. Oh my god, they look real good.
Do I
It's like-
really
Yeah,
have
I
to
want to
bribe
have a
you
look
with
at the revised
anything,
artificer.
Joe?
Because they have like artificer infusions, and like one of them is a prerequisite of 4th level artificer, and you can make a pair of boots that teleports you 15 feet on a bonus action to an unoccupied space the creature can see. And like you can do this all the time,
So it's a slightly shittier version of the Shadow Monk thing.
basically. But you just make boots. That's fucking cool.
You just be an
Do
asshole walking alongside your party, just teleport back and forth and back and forth and back and forth.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I really have no room to judge because that's what my Shadow Monk has been doing. Is it's just like you guys are moving too slow.
I literally gave my blood hunter a bunch of like teleporting abilities, as in like Fae stuff, and she just most of her spells are either protection based or fear based.
Love that.
Just I'll either protect you or make you fear me. That's it.
Well, that is a hell of a conversation to walk back into.
Hello, Amy.
Amy, I got out of jail. Are you proud of me?
No, go back.
I want to know. I want to know how it happened because I think I'm stuck in jail until I finish torturing you all.
Yeah,
with
you're
this
not
life.
allowed out of jail. I can bribe, and anybody except you and Josh can bribe.
Anybody except you and Josh are able to bribe.
Boo!
Joe, should I ever have to bribe you with anything? Answer real carefully.
Yes, I realize that I have to answer very carefully. And that's why I'm electing not to answer.
Coward.
You guys can't bribe
That's a
me.
cop-out.
It's impossible.
That's a cop out right there, Joe.
Me?
I'm well aware.
You should have just fucking gone for it.
You guys won't be able to bribe me to save you. Just saying. Tell me all the lore you want. It won't happen.
I only accept bribes for getting people out of jail. I don't accept bribes for reducing the bullshit that is DMing. I don't.
Welcome back.
I accept bribes for everything. I'm a corrupt official.
This is why you belong in jail.
No. I belong out of jail because
Wow.
I am so corrupt that I've gotten myself out of all the shit that I should be in. But I will, just in case anyone was curious, I will accept bribes for literally anything.
I mean,
will
I will
accept
accept
for cool
bribes.
story arcs.
Yeah, I will accept bribes, but I don't think you would actually believe anything I say at this point. So you know, what the hell?
I will accept bribes for most things.
Whoa!
And yeah, I will bribe you with shitty cereal if you don't kill Vias.
Did you say witch titty?
No. Shitty cereal. Where did you get witch titty out of that?
I don't know. I heard witch titty.
I mean, we've seen a lot of hags, but I don't think we've seen those.
Witch titty, like witch, like the spell.
That's the title of the episode.
Please tell me that was like in the recording.
Yeah, it is. You think I stopped? No,
Bless
we
you,
record
Josh.
forever.
I'm so sorry, guys.
Don't be sorry. That was the best thing that's happened all week.
Oh my god.
I do totally forget that this is being recorded sometimes.
I don't. It's on my mind all
It's
the
just
time.
for us.
All of our fuck-ups are immortalized.
Hell yeah. Blackmail for the future.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I think we should leave this weird area now that Vias has made a shitty roll. He will
Okay.
accept his mistakes.
I mean, you don't know that it was a shitty roll.
I mean, he just assumes he paid whatever was due to this person.
He thought he prayed great.
He didn't even really pray. He was just like, hey, sorry you died.
Good prayer.
The two of you
I
kind of
hope the lady was nice to you when you left this world.
Vias tried to press F to pay respects and pressed G instead.
G for good
And threw a
going, you're
grenade.
dead.
What does G do? Oh, G is the default for throwing a grenade.
Oh my god, okay. Vias wants to do what he originally was set out to do, which was scope the rest of the room. The rest of the area that we haven't seen yet.
Okie doke. So I would say that you make it back out of the room reasonably easily, having kind of plotted a way past the people and the fact that they're not moving very much. Where are you all headed next?
Probably upward.
Yeah, just straight
Yeah,
up around the
uh,
perimeter, I think, is the...
Yeah.
Okay. I shall clear some more areas. So as you are headed northwards, you do...
Hug the left wall.
Yeah, you do
You
discover...
see Talia is dragging sort of fingertips against the
As you
left
kind of
wall.
head along the left wall, following this kind of eastern side cloister area, you kind of head a certain way, and you spot kind of another path leading off to the left. This time, however, there are 3 figures stood to the entranceway to this kind of side passage.
Also,
Vias.
how's our time looking?
Yeah, what do we got?
You've probably been in about 20 minutes or so.
Okay.
Maybe a little more then.
Vias curses
Because
a little bit.
You kind of made it through the first area pretty quickly because you knew where you were going and you could see where the manifestations were. So I'd say, 20, 25 minutes.
Okay.
Vias curses a little bit, noticing that the left side passage is stopped with people. And that if they move that way, we would alert them.
Yeah, I don't know about y'all, but I don't really see a good way past those folk.
I mean, if I could turn into a small creature and climb on the wall, maybe, but I would be leaving all of you behind, and it's not a good idea.
So surely Dylan wouldn't have been
Well-
able to make it past them without disturbing them.
Could Vias do a quick check to make sure there's no blood stains on the ground?
You can make a... Are you staying at a distance?
Yes, he's staying at a good distance.
Perception check then, please.
Okie dokie.
Oh!
You are all rolling so good today.
He literally has a +5 and he rolled a 2. Are you kidding me?
There are so many 7s and 9s coming out tonight.
We're
Yeah, you
79 instead of 69.
Not nice.
Not nice.
Yeah, you can't really see. There are a few kind of dark smudges, but you're pretty sure they're just dirt. And it's kind of, there's a few scuffs on the floor, but again, they look like dirt. You're pretty sure there's nothing that looks like blood.
They don't look recent or anything.
No, there's nothing that looks recent.
Curses again.
Unfortunately, I don't actually have... Because I was going to try and, get to here and see if I could have a look down that way, but no dark vision, so...
Nope. You could suggest it to someone else.
Yeah. Would one of you guys who can see get to just out of their reach and see if you can see down?
I'll do it.
I saw a little bit, but I wasn't able to make much out.
Let me,
I can try.
I can do it. Let me do it. I can see.
No.
I can see.
Uh,
He seems adamant. Maybe let him try.
How about he stays here and Lena can go because she suggested first?
I could do it.
Or Talia can go. But how about Clancy stays with me?
I mean, a couple of us could go, and 2 sets of eyes are better than one.
Vias just points to Mercy. I mean, she can help.
You know what? I'm going to go have a look. If someone else wants to come with,
Talia will tag along.
okey-doke.
Vias will
Lena's
fly
gonna-
onto Lena's shoulder and look.
Mercy.
Vias will
Mercy.
fly on the leader's shoulder.
Oh, Mercy, sorry.
Vias will
I
fly.
mean,
He can't turn into a bird yet.
I mean,
This-
if Vias is going to, like, perch on people's shoulders.
This is
He's not
almost
late
as good
enough.
as Vera being a dwarf suddenly.
Okay, it is
Lena's
Mercy.
gonna
I'm
head-
sorry. I get the two
It's fine.
confused.
Lena's going to head to about there and make a perception check. Also, Talia and Mercy make perception checks as well.
Not bad.
Hold on, I'm getting there.
Mercy got the 15.
Okay,
Vias
well,
goes in her sight.
Lena doesn't see very much. Others, you get to see a little bit further down the corridor. However, with the kind of limits on dark vision, unless anyone has dark vision too.
Talia does.
What range is Talia's dark vision?
60 feet.
Okay,
Yeah, that's
that's standard, isn't it? Lena
yeah,
can't see any
that's
further than that.
standard.
I mean, so you'll probably be able to see kind of a little ways into the corridor that seems to extend beyond this figure here. And it seems to be just an empty corridor leading away into the dark.
How tall is the corridor?
It is... I shall tell you, I'm not sure if I have a number for that.
Mostly because
I don't have a
Bias
number
is
for
Are
that.
you about to suggest what I think you're about to suggest?
He is about to
No.
suggest what we think he's about to suggest.
he's getting
it's
messages from
roughly-
Mercy as in like, I can fly there. Do you want me to fly there? And he's
Yeah, I'd say the ceiling is probably 10 foot or so high. If
Okay.
Mercy were to fly right at ceiling height and not dip down too far, she
But,
might be okay.
I don't think hawks have dark vision, and that's the
why I
problem.
was gonna have him cast light on the caltrop and have her hold it and fly over.
That's clever.
Vias
I mean, you could
thinks
try it.
sometimes.
I mean, hang on.
Oh, he's gonna wait to do that though. That'll be a thing he does when it's desperate. He's not going to
Okey-doke.
chance her. Not after he just got her back.
No,
Mercy, that's not a good idea. We're not going to do that.
It's a corridor that seems to lead off into the dark.
Okay. So we should go to a different corridor. We're running out of time. Or rather, we should continue our actions a little quicker.
Okay, so just skirt around and then continue moving up, you think?
Yes, and let me go ahead, just to make sure there's no more of those orbs up here.
Yeah, you're the one who can see them.
Alright, take point.
And Voyas takes point.
Where are you moving to, Vias?
He's going to skirt around these people.
Yeah, I was assuming like around and up this way.
Yeah.
Okie doke, make me
Down
an
is
Arcana check
moving
then,
about
please.
half a step behind him.
Okay.
Well,
18.
Okie doke. You spot telltale arcane signatures. Here? Hang on. And here.
Bias
So
will put a caltrop there.
there. And there.
Yeah, so Vias will put caltrops where he was able to find those arcane signatures.
Okie doke.
Being careful to keep his emotions calm.
Okay, and then are you moving onwards and inwards?
Yes, staying close to the left side.
Okey-doke.
And waiting for Diona to catch up after he's placed his caltrops.
I would say,
Where
I
they
mean,
should be.
I'm going to assume at this point that everyone is kind of moving as
Yeah, everyone's gonna be.
as a group.
Yeah, but like those two, like maybe 15, 20 feet ahead, and then
Yeah, like we'll be 20 feet ahead, I guess, and then the center group will stay in between there, and yeah.
Cool.
Actually, 15 or less would probably be best.
yeah.
No problem. So as you move through and inwards, you notice that the left wall takes a turn, and you kind of reach the more or less the end of the room.
Okay. He's going to approach that weird corner.
Okie doke. So, this corner.
Close to it.
Okie
He's
doke.
got his staff in his hand.
That area opens up, and I will do it off the last Arcana check.
Okie dokie.
Clear all that area open. And you see that it's kind of an open
shit.
area. With a large double door kind of at the back of the area. It's made of the same stone as kind of the walls around it. It's about 20 foot wide, maybe about 30 foot high. It's noticeably undecorated, just pure massive stone. It seems to be sealed. There seems to be kind of no obvious mechanism of opening it.
There's no writing, no anything.
Nothing carved on or around the door.
Okay. He's gonna turn.
Hovering in front of it, there is a large kind of arcane disturbance manifestation right in front of it, and it pings your senses even from a distance.
He's going to stop and gesture to the other people and just say, "Don't step into this alcove. We should check the rest of the room before we do anything else." Big boy. Yes.
Wow.
Who put that there?
The silhouette of a man.
Who put Big Boy there? Who did
I
it?
don't know, but that's hilarious.
Big bass. Big boy, big bass.
With this group, it could quite literally be anyone.
True.
It wasn't me. I feel like it was either Parker or PK.
It wasn't me.
It's PK,
It was
isn't it?
definitely Parker.
It was definitely not
PK.
Parker.
It was me. It was definitely me.
Yeah, we assume.
I was too busy looking at my dash, which is for some reason somebody has decided to flood with Tchaikovsky's like 1812 memes with the cannon. This is the
That's
very
great.
specific
Good.
niche, but okay.
Oh my goodness.
And
yeah,
you're the one who follows history notes, so
But it's like there were like 12 in a row, and I was like,
Calm down.
You specifically looked for memes for some reason. I don't know why, but I support you, sir.
Had the urge. But yeah, Vias is going to kind of like walk past, I suppose. Just keeping an eye on it and just making sure nobody's going close to it. That weird triangular thing in the center of the room, what is that? Like, what does that look like? Is it like a pillar? Amy? Hello?
Hello?
Hi, sorry, I was on my mute. That's okay. And nobody needs to hear me chomping.
That's okay.
Because that's just gross. And then I carried on talking about that I was on.
Oh no.
Because. So it's a plinth. So it's just a flat kind of stone area raised maybe about 6 foot above the kind of general floor area of the temple. There is some rubble on the top that you can kind of see because you're kind of at a far enough angle back. You can kind of just roughly see vaguely kind of the top edge of it. There's some rubble that suggests maybe there was a statue or something up there at some point in the past, which has, compared to some other areas of the temple, suffered some sort of decay and ruin.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like we can move close enough to that without disturbing something.
Mm.
So I think Diana's kind of gonna tap Vias on the shoulder and can we move closer to that so I can have a bit of a look?
What was that? I didn't hear you. My dad's playing immensely loud music right now.
Tap Vias on the shoulder and just kind of gesture over at the plinth and can we have a bit of a look? I should be able to see fairly well if we get close and you bring the light.
Yes, I was thinking about looking there. Maybe if it has any writing to open this door or something. And he gestures to the one that's behind that big ripply-looking thing. That big boy.
Yeah. Because, I mean, like you said, it's about 6 foot high, so Diana can actually see over it normally, but if Vias wants a closer look, she will give him a boost.
He's not getting on top of that thing.
No, but, like...
He's only 5'4". He doesn't really need a boost, I don't think. He can look.
He does need a boost. He's a baby.
He is small, but not that small. And honestly, I don't think he wants anybody to touch him right now. So he'll go investigate the weird plinth thing in the center of the room.
The notion of giving a boost has killed Joe's connection.
Oh no!
Oh no.
Oh no!
Bias killed Joe's connection.
Oh no! Bias killed Joe's connection.
Bias
Bias
killed
just
Joe.
killed in general.
No. Bias
That
killed
was
your connection.
I'm not sure how I got disconnected.
Bias killed it.
Yep.
I see. If we can move closer with the light, Diana can have a look at the top side of it.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
Vias can have a scan at the sides we can see.
And Vias
I mean,
is going to
you can kind of
investigate.
move it into this sort of area without
Vi-
pinging anyone else's senses.
yeah, Vias.
Yeah, because we've got basically, from what I can tell, we've got from about those 4 squares without any kind of risk.
Mm-hmm.
So-
Generally speaking, from what you've seen, as long as you're kind of more than 10 feet, preferably more than kind of 15 feet away, you don't seem at the moment to be setting anything off.
Yeah.
So you can definitely move up to the edge and kind of peer over the top. And it's the same kind of stone as the rest of the temple, but it's kind of smoothed on the top to not quite a mirror finish, but it's kind of very highly polished. And yeah, there seems to be rubble that forms some sort kind of statue, but judging kind of where the bits of it kind of intersect with the plinth it stood on, there is not enough stone there to have made a statue, and you kind of get the impression that as the statue has kind of collapsed or degraded or whatever, somebody has kind of robbed the stone out and taken it elsewhere to build something else.
Okay.
Which is concerning for a different... Wait a minute. Stupid question.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was the one who went to have a look at this rock slide before.
Oh yeah, Vias would have
And
seen
I
that
had the
too.
light last time. Does it look like it might have been the same kind of stone?
It could be, but it's a little hard to tell because it's all made of kind of a similar dark stone.
Yeah, fair.
And the rubble of the statue is kind of the same stone as... Ooh. Brand new nail varnish, I've just taken a chunk out of it. God damn.
I mean, Vias could send Mercy to go get a small piece of it.
You could do it. It's everything in here is kind of composed of the same dark stone.
Yeah.
And from kind of the the way it's kind of tumbled everywhere, you get the impression it could have been a while ago that they kind of robbed the stone out. Either that or this kind of temple has been used by various different groups over the years.
Gotcha.
As it mysteriously pops in and out of existence and causes
Just
trouble.
moving up towards the plinth, if my detect magic is still going, do I feel anything?
It will still be going, just about, and no, you do not. Apart from this kind of manifestation right there.
Are there any markings on the plinth?
Make an investigation check.
Okay.
I would say as well, Diona would probably know that stealing the stone and reusing it is not exactly an uncommon occurrence.
But yeah, no, it's good practice.
There are no particular markings length at all from on this area that you're looking at.
Vias is not known for his scholarly pursuits. He's by action learning only.
Bless.
Would I be able to have a look, like, to see if the light Vias is holding is like, because like you know how light off a surface and then scrapes in the surface, it'll show on it.
So you're
like, looking for things that might have been etched in. Etched in or carved into this plinth.
Make an investigation check.
Can I get away with perception because I'm looking for...
Oh, yeah, I'll let you off with that. Go for it.
Thank you.
You're being really nice today. I would have not let that slide.
I would have accepted either way, but...
Don't point out when the DM's being nice.
Yep, no, it's fine.
I mean, there was always a chance that would happen. Yeah, there's not really much of anything to see.
Yep, that's fine. Yeah, but a 7 is better than a 1, which is what it would have been if I'd rolled the same thing on the investigation. So there was a statue here, something happened, and the bits of it have been looted for further construction.
I have pistachio and almond cookies, and I'm feeling generous.
That's fair.
Good. That's a good bribe to know about. But yeah, okay. I think Vias will just nod about what they found and just... Okay, maybe we should check the next couple areas, see if there's anything else we can find.
Continue the loop around.
You have been in the temple now about 45 minutes.
Yep.
Susanna will call that out if Diona doesn't, which I imagine she wouldn't because she is not obsessively watching the hands ticking by on the clock like Susanna is.
Yeah, I think she's been checking it periodically, but not...
Vias will continue on then quickly.
Susanna's sticking by Clancy, right?
Yes, 100%. She's not letting Clancy wander off.
So basically,
Talia's with them as well. Then,
whenever Susanna is staring at the clock, Clancy is like alternating between looking around in wonder and looking at the clock in wonder.
Clancy is a good egg. As far as Susanna is concerned.
Vias is concerned in general. He doesn't know. But yeah, Vias is gonna go check out this area.
Okie doke. So there is, in this area, if you're looking in the top corner...
Yes.
There is another
Also,
passage
we
leading
have
off to
told
Cloister.
Clancy to try to stay out of 10 feet of these guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. At least 5 feet away if you have to. But yeah. And then he will basically continue down that right side of the passageway as quickly as he can.
Well, make me an Arcana check as you head in that direction.
Okay.
So, are you heading down, or are you heading into this passage?
Down, not into the passage
Okay.
just yet. He knows it's there, so. Ooh, man, he's good at Arcana.
He is.
Shit.
So there is Populars.
Mercy's got the perception, he's got the Arcana. Magic's his forte. He's just not smart.
Another manifestation in this area.
Okay.
But that
He
seems
will-
to be the only one in this immediate vicinity.
And he will approach it and put a caltrop down.
No problem.
Okay.
It just kind of bobs there interestedly.
He just waves.
And I would say if you're close enough, kind of to within 10 feet or so, to roll a caltrop underneath it, you will notice that there is another passageway in this area here.
Okie dokie. Can he look down that passageway?
He can. And he will see that it kind of goes a short distance and then turns to the right.
Okay.
Clancy's just kind of following along behind Bias a few feet back.
Okay.
Like,
Vice is gonna
following
get
along behind Clancy.
Vice is gonna go to this point, and because he can't see any of those weird people, he's going to hand a caltrop over to Mercy, cast light on it, and then send her down just a little bit. Just having her gently fly into the corridor. And
The
to the right.
corridor proceeds a distance along and then turns to the left.
Okay. So she will go down to the right then. 'Cause that's the way it shows on the map. Just, she's also holding...
It's her left, I should say.
Yes,
rather
her
than right.
left. Map right. Map stage right.
Okay, and as she kind of turns that corner, she will see that the passageway kind of doubles back on itself. And she will also notice quite easily at this point that the floor is sloping upwards.
So it's going upwards into the actual temple?
Yep. And it seems to be thoroughly unoccupied.
Okay, that's a little bit weird. Vice is going to call out and let them know that it slopes upwards. And do you think we should go up?
can I go up?
Wait here, Clancy.
Hold on. Hold
we
on.
need a consensus.
The group needs to come to this decision.
Hey, group! Come here!
Yeah, I assume everybody was like 15 to 20 feet away at this point.
Yeah.
So Mercy sees a slope going upwards. I assume to go to the top of this temple. Do you want to go up? Or do you want to check out the other entryway on the this right side? I don't know where that goes. I didn't look down it yet. But there are people near it.
I mean, we might as well clear this floor before we head upstairs.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
let's
if
go.
we don't find Dylan upstairs, we just...
Okay. And he'll call for Mercy to come back.
Okey-doke.
And then when she comes back, she'll drop the caltrop in his hand and he'll dispel the light spell.
Yep,
And
no
pop it.
worries.
And then he will go up to the other area. Up here, being mindful
Okey-doke.
of the other people.
Yep, I would say if the group are wanting to follow, you will have to kind of single file it past these two people at the top.
Yeah, he'd
Okay,
probably
sorry,
put a hand back and just just as a stop motion for you guys and crawl near the wall, probably press himself against it and peer.
Yeah, back pressed against the wall.
Yeah.
Single file.
With his
And
staff held up near his chest, and he's kind of just tilting his body around to look around the other side.
Yep, and as he peers around the corner, it kind of goes for maybe 10, 15 feet or so before seeming to open up into another room.
Vias is going to step here and then into the corridor about there, and then cast light on that caltrop and send Mercy in so he can have a better look.
So, I'll say that Mercy can see. most of the room.
I'll look at what her vision
At
is.
which point there are a couple of torches lit in this area. One held by this figure. Hang on. Here. Make me a perception check for Mercy, please.
With advantage?
No.
Plus. Oh, hey, I
Yes,
realized that she didn't even do her bonus for perception last time either.
Oops.
Oh, well, she still rolled high. +4 for perception. Because she has advantage, though, for keen sight, advantage on wisdom perception checks that rely on sight, though.
So depending on how much light's in the room.
I would say if you've lit the caltrop as well as there being a couple of torches, then the light in the room will be, apart from in kind of the very corners,
Okay.
these two very corners, then it'll be fine. So yes, she would have advantage. The light is not.
Okay. That's a natural one. Good thing she...
Good thing she has advantage. Wow.
That's no better. This is the first time she's rolled really bad. Mercy.
Okay. So Mercy picks up on two things. There are 3 people in this room.
Okay.
And in this area here, there is a large mirror on the as well as there being a kind of dais a dais kind of temple kind of table. Altar is the word I'm after. There's an altar at this end of the room, and there are a series of braziers kind of lined up to give kind of a processional column almost.
Are the markings on the table or the altar anything familiar to Vias?
With a perception roll of 6 for Mercy, no.
Okay. Well, he will call Mercy back then and wait for maybe one other person to go with him, just gesture for Diona.
I would say actually with a 6, she will Mercy will notice that this guy here is holding a torch.
And is it lit?
Yes.
Is it flickering like the other flame did in the other?
She didn't really kind of get a good enough tip to notice.
Okay. Well, Vias will gesture for Diona to follow him in, and he's going to carefully, with his staff held out, kind of just to make sure he's not going to step on anything weird.
Yeah.
And just get within this point here and stop. And take a good look at the room. And probably cast light with his staff as well.
Okie doke. Bear with me a second.
Vias dies instantly.
Check something. No, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. Don't be dramatic.
That 7 comes back to bite him in the ass.
I
cannot actually see that one though. I just need to check a number. Hang on.
That's fine.
Oh no.
Fuck me up, Amy. I'm ready.
It's only a +1 anyway.
Oh god.
Okay, that was a shit roll. Both of you make me a perception check.
Okay. 12. Yes!
Natural 20. So, Vias, as you are standing right where you are standing, you're kind of distracted from looking around the room by the fact that there seems to be a draft coming from behind you.
Oh.
Where there, at initial glance, it seems to be a solid wall.
It's a freaking
Diona, with a natural 20, you notice that these two here seem to be staring into the middle distance the same way that the others do. But this character here is different. They don't seem to have that kind of glazed expression to their face. They seem to have a lot more awareness in their eyes, and that torch that they're holding seems to be just a regular torch, and it isn't flickering slowly like the other flames that you have seen around the building have been.
Shit.
And as Mercy saw, there is a large mirror in this area.
So which way is this guy facing?
He's facing kind of
Toward Vias,
Hang
toward
on.
the dais.
not quite. Hang on, I shall show you. He's facing kind of looking in, and my arrow moves. He's looking kind of in that direction. He can probably see you from the corner of his eye.
What's up, Diana?
One with the torch, he can... He's not the same kind of... Something's up.
Maybe you should grab the rest.
Yeah.
Or at the very least, just for them to come here.
Mm.
He will hold his action if anything ends up going towards him. He will hit, or he's going to cast bonus action Shillelagh on his staff, and if anything comes after him, he's going to hit it with his staff.
Okie doke.
Yeah, Diana's gonna slip back to there and kind of make a come forward gesture and kind of indicate stay close to the wall.
Okie doke.
Question. Is my detect magic still going? Has it been more than 10 minutes?
It's been more than 10 minutes now.
Okay, I will recast it then, because it's a first level
Okey-doke.
spell.
Okie doke.
And once people start coming into the room, or at least near it, Vias will probably try and step to the side a little bit if people
Okay.
are coming to the room.
As people are heading kind of into this area, what is the marching order?
Oh,
I'm
yay.
assuming Vias and Diona at the front.
Yeah, just in case.
Yep.
Lena will quite happily be bringing up the rear at this point.
Talia's with Susanna.
Alright, Vera is behind Diona then.
Yeah,
Okie doke.
Susanna would go in after Vera.
And Lena will be keeping an eye on Clancy at the back. So it's kind of... Hang on.
Why is Vias always the one in the front?
That...
When bad shit
Yes,
At
happens.
this
can
point, because
see
Vias is
shit.
the one who can actually...
Sense things?
Yeah.
Or
Vias is the one who
investigate?
can actually know what's going on.
What the heck? How did that happen for him?
Okay, so
He's a
we will say that
mage.
since it's fairly easy to kind of hook the wall and move up, even with like a little bit of jostling the people ahead and behind, it's reasonably easy for everybody to kind of make it into this corridor area. Vera at this point gets a sense of magic from... Hang on, what is her range?
30 feet.
30 feet. So if we assume Vera makes it roughly to where Diana is standing now, not a whole lot. With me a second, let me just double check. No, within 30 feet of the entranceway, there is nothing pinging detect magic.
Vias will continue around the side of the room.
Yeah,
Okay.
one thing before Diana continues much further, did this guy seem to turn his attention at all to Vias continuing to move around?
Yeah, Vias is keeping a good eye on him just since Diana pointed him out.
From a natural 20, Diona would notice that he seems to be... This guy seems to be doing his best to act like the other people in the temple that you have come across so far. He is just standing there and staring at the wall, but he doesn't have that kind of same vacant expression that the others do.
Can I'm gonna actually ask if I can attempt an insight, because again, if he seems to be trying his best, that implies that he's not affected, or at least isn't very affected. But it could also be like a different kind of this magic that's causing this. Like, it could be more of an active sentinel rather than a...
Go for it.
A different type of trigger.
Yeah.
I would say yes. In that case, then go for it.
Just because making sure of what we need to be aware of, because if this is someone who's not affected, we probably need to try and get him out.
Calling it now. We gotta kill him.
God damn it.
Definitely.
There's something hinky about this dude, but you're just not quite sure what.
Vias glances at Diana.
He doesn't seem to be making any indication to move at this moment in time.
Just kind of gonna shrug and just keep this guy in the corner of her eye as she also moves around so people can get past.
Yeah, Vias is going to keep his staff ready. And where's the mirror again? He's not going to get in front of it.
It is kind of
Hereish, I think.
yeah,
In the very two spots there.
yeah, between the two.
Yeah, he will.
Feyre will keep on moving forward until she's close enough to detect magic from the mirror.
Okie doke. As Vera moves around roughly kind of this area, there is a large magical signature coming from the mirror, and a slightly smaller signature, almost like an echo of magic coming from the altar.
Since we're this close, would Vias be able to investigate that altar at all?
I would say if he moves up to it and kind of around this side, definitely so.
Okay. He is not going to look at the mirror pointedly. He's probably going to put his cloak over the side of his face, just in case.
Okie doke.
And he'll glance back at everybody and try and investigate.
Susanna, as soon as she's in this room, has drawn her gun and is just keeping it trained on everyone in the room, including her party members, but in a friendly way.
In a check yourself kind of way.
If you turn on me right now, you're gonna fucking die.
So should Vias roll an investigation for this, or perception?
Bear with me. Wakey,
That's
wakey. Sorry, my computer's trying to catch up.
That's okay.
Make
So I do
an investigation check.
one more question for you.
Yep.
This guy looks more like adventurer type rather than researcher. This guy looks more like
Vias rolled a 5.
the one with the torch looks more like he's adventurer rather than one of the researchers from the camp.
Check some. My God.
That dude killed him.
It's funny because in Vias' backstory, I literally had things about him going gallivanting on old abandoned ruins with his cousin.
This ain't that. This is much worse than that.
He should be good at this. Why is he so bad at investigating things?
Because he's a failure.
He's so
Just
stupid.
kidding.
He's not stupid. I
He's
love
an
him.
anxious mess.
He's a
Bless.
good egg.
Sorry, Joe, you were saying before my computer crapped out.
The gentleman with the torch, does he look like adventurer stock or does he look more like a researcher?
He looks more like adventurous stock. There's a long sword kind of strapped across his back. The other two are also carrying weapons. He seems a little bit better outfitted, but not massively better outfitted than the other two.
Okay.
With the 5, it's an altar. There are there's a brazier a kind of a candelabra with no kind of candles or tape or anything left in it stood. As you're kind of looking across the room towards the rest of the group, there's one kind of on the left-hand side of the altar.
Since Vias wasn't able to find out anything about the altar, is there a lining at all around the mirror, or is it just a mirror?
It's a mirror in kind of a brass frame, or it looks like brass. It's kind of a heavily tarnished kind of yellowish metal. It's kind of, there's some kind of decorative scroll work going on. The mirror itself is maybe kind of 6 foot wide and 10 or 12 feet high.
Is it flush to the wall?
As far as you can tell, it seems to be.
Can Clancy see the mirror?
Just about, yes, from that.
Is this the source of the weird, what do you want to call it? The weird breeze that Vias was feeling?
No, the breeze was kind of over in this area where Susanna is now standing.
Clancy,
Can she feel her skirts rustling?
Can Vias go back to that place?
Yes, he can, as long as he kind of skirts around the other people.
Yeah, he would like to do that, and he's going to press his hands against the wall and see if there's any like weird stones, or if his hand goes through it or something.
Make me an investigation check. I would say if Susanna wants to make a assist with that would be possible as well, to give you advantage.
Investigating, you're so
Susanna
bad
will.
at this. Look at him.
Susanna would have helped him.
So that's a 16 with advantage. That's not too bad.
You, Susanna. There's the team working together.
As you kind of lean against the stonework, it doesn't move or anything, but as you kind of move your hand over, you kind of feel a draft in one specific area. And as Vice looks closer, you can see that there is kind of a seam in the wall.
Can Vias hook his fingers around it and pull to the side?
He can try. I mean, when I say seam, it's kind of like, you know, a few millimeters. It's like a millimeter or two wide.
He pulls out one of his knives and starts shaving it.
Okie doke. While Vias is performing masonry, if Talia and Clancy want to investigate the mirror, they can.
I think Talia would like to.
Ting, ting, ting.
So as you kind of walk past Vias, who's just kind of there with a knife jammed into this tiny little hairline crack of the wall, kind of going,
I know there's something behind here. There's got to be.
As you kind of move closer, you kind of see, Talia, that the mirror is kind of set almost into the wall. It's kind of not necessarily flush with the wall, it's kind of set ever so slightly in, and it's almost as if the brass frame has been kind of built to fit the stonework. You do notice on a 12 that there is something a little weird with the reflection between what you see in the mirror and what you noticed in the room a moment ago.
I think Talia is just kind of like head tilted, reaches up to touch the mirror, kind of very confused.
Oh, okay. As the fingers touch the mirror, it's cold. Like glasses when you kind of touch it and it's cold outside but warm inside, so it's kind of disproportionately cold compared to the air in the room.
Talia is just sort of mystified, I think. Like, it's a silent sort of, what the fuck?
Okie doke.
Talia kind of looks over at Diona and goes, what? What is this?
It's. I think Diana will kind of step closer to the mirror to be able to.
I mean, you can make an investigation check, or Talia can make one to count it as advantage over the last.
No, Talia's just going, like, Talia just looks at it and goes, it's kind of like, you know, when there are puddles and you can, like, see yourself in it, but it's not water.
It's a mirror. They tend to be made of silvered glass, and they're designed to show how things look.
And I think that's when they frown again. You said that there's a few things that are, like, different in the mirror's reflection than the room.
There's something that gives Talia the impression that there is a difference between what they can see in the mirror and what they saw as they were walking through the room.
Yeah, can I
It's not
roll
kind
it?
of. Yep, go for it.
See if I
Could-
can, like, figure that
could-
out.
Could Vice do an Arcana check on that?
I would say not if he's busy
offer-
investigating the other wall.
Yep.
Okay.
And then you said it was at advantage?
If Diana's helping, yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say I'm going to offer an assist. So.
Okay. Well, I rolled an 18 on my first one.
Okay. You kind of spend a few minutes kind of looking at what's in the mirror and then kind of glancing around the room. And the altar is the same, the brochures are the same. As you kind of tilt your head and move around, you can kind of see the various people of the group and the three other people. And eventually you realise that on the actual altar in the room, there is only one brazier. Candelabra. Sorry. In the reflection, there are two candelabras.
Talia is going to point to the one in the reflection that is, like, not there in, like, real life. And just go, that's not over. There's only one here, but there's two. Are you sure it's supposed to be like a reflection?
Normal mirrors. Vice just stops his hammering.
Yeah,
Where
normally
is it?
yes, but there's clearly something up.
Where's the candelabra you see in the reflection? To tell it, or answer.
Talia kind of, like, glances at him real quick, and then,
He catches himself before he says Talia.
yeah, but they're like,
Can he try and play it off as he's coughing? Like, answer.
I mean,
Oh God.
you could certainly try. Is Clancy distracted by anything, considering that Clancy has now moved up to stand next to Vias?
Clancy's been distracted in the mirror, but they definitely catch that slip.
I mean, you can try and make a performance check, Vias, to see if it can be played off as a cough.
Natural 20. Thank you, Clancy.
That is the single most convincing cough that you have ever heard.
Even Vias believes he's coughing.
Yeah, he probably does choke. He's winded from hitting the damn wall with a knife.
Talia just kind of points at the candelabra in the reflection, and then with the other hand point to where it should be on the altar if the reflection was real.
Bias then will try and skirt around everybody else to get back to the altar. And try and be clear of those other people.
Okie doke.
And then he will put his fingers on the altar and like slide them along the surface of it and see if his fingers touch anything. Where that candelabra should be.
I will say, since you know what you're looking for, I'm not going to make you check. All you really find is kind of a layer of dust and a kind of slight lessening in the thickness of the layer of dust where you think the candelabra would be based on the reflection that Talia has pointed out to you.
Is that another dimension?
I mean, it is cold to touch.
Wait, hold on. I'm confused.
There's nothing here.
Are there 2 in the mirror or 2 on the...
There's 2 in the mirror and 1 on the there's only 1 in the one that we're in right now. Fias checked to see if there was one invisible or something on the table, and there was nothing.
Wow.
There's only 1 on the table.
Can Talia sort of search the room for the candelabra?
They certainly can. Make me an investigation check.
Fias will
Question.
mutter.
13.
It takes a while. And you find kind of trash in the corners of the room. There isn't anything in there that looks like a candelabra. There's always the possibility that someone has picked it up.
Can Vias check if any of the people have it? Like,
I mean, he can try.
A question regarding the people, though, first. So Diona noticed that the one dude was not, on the level. Did she, the rest of us still don't know that, right? Like, that information was not...
No, as far as I'm aware, Diona's not told anyone that.
Only
Yeah,
Bias
Bias.
at this point.
Bias, I think,
Bias
might-
asked.
Y'all gotta share some fucking information.
Talia did.
I was talking to them. I could not have more clearly been talking to them. Talia is an angel, and I love them.
Talia is an
Bias
angel,
doesn't
and we're delighted
know
to have
why
them here.
Diana knows more than Vias does. He just knows that for some reason he has to be hesitant of the person. He doesn't know what's going on, so he hasn't said anything yet.
Clarified more. And she is very clearly keeping an eye on this guy in particular rather than the other 2.
At this point, Talia goes, Susanna?
Yes, Talia. Oh, no, I didn't. I'm sorry. Can we say that that's... Susanna would have been careful. I'm dumb and gay.
Mood.
I mean,
We're
that's
so
just
used
probably
to
the
saying
excuse for
Talia.
everything.
I just heard Talia, and I immediately thought Talia, but Susanna would actually have been careful about it.
I will let you off with that one.
Thank you. I won't do it again. I will be less dumb, but no less dumb.
This is your one warning, PK.
Because I'm dumb and gay is just the best excuse for anything.
I really do appreciate it. Yes, Anza?
What, your clock thing,
My watch? What about it?
Something, like, do we have time?
What time is it?
You've been in the temple for about an hour and 5, maybe an hour and 10 minutes.
It's been a little over an hour. So we're past what's definitely safe, but we're still in what's probably safe.
You know that you can, if you rush, make it out of the temple inside of 10 minutes. But that will require rushing.
Susanna, maybe we wait a little bit longer.
I have a question.
Yep.
Clancy hasn't made any wisdom saves for the temple at all.
He has not. I mean, you can make one now if you'd like.
I'd love to make one now.
I shall write them down.
12. Just one? Or more? Should I make more for the future?
I will just take both of those.
Okay.
Okay.
We can stay in
a little bit longer, but I don't want to risk anything now.
I mean,
Okay.
I'd say you're probably safe for another half hour before you need to start thinking
Yeah.
about moving.
Yeah, I think
At least another half hour.
I think we should wait about a half hour and then make our way out. What do you think? Just enough time to look around, figure out why that is weird. Maybe even check to the top of, at least to the base of the upstairs. Just to rule out Dylan not being there.
Right? Okay, fine. So, we're missing one candelabra.
And we don't see it in this room, so maybe we should check a different room. Maybe it will unlock, and he points to that weird seam. Maybe it'll open this.
Maybe it's behind the collapsed door.
I mean, there are also 3 people in this room that could have picked up a candelabra as loot.
Can I search them?
That's why.
Well,
Actually,
shall we
my-
kill them and check?
No, we're not.
I was kind of thinking that maybe someone could carefully rifle through their pockets, but I mean, we can kill people if you'd really like to,
I can do
Susanna.
that.
No more death.
I can
can do the pockets.
do pockets. I'm good at pockets.
Don't
No.
get within 5 feet of them, they'll attack you.
We can't get close to them.
Not if I'm really
Unless
thinking.
Honey, I'm sure you are, but this is not like a matter of debate. This is if we get close to them, they'll try to kill us, and then I will have to kill them, and then Vice might get upset. It's a whole unpleasant scenario. So if we're not going to kill them from the start, we may as well just walk away.
Vias just turns to look at Clancy and just says, I'm not letting you be like Dylan right now. I don't know you, but you don't deserve to be lost too.
I'm not lost. I'm right
Hello?
here.
I know you.
And then stay there, please. Listen to us.
Yes, Clancy, I'm sure you're marvelous at pockets and marvelous at being sneaky, but it's better if we just don't do that.
Is marvelous a good word?
Marvelous is a wonderful word, honey. A wonderful word.
Okay.
So good.
Okay, so
Out
from
of character question to the DM.
Mm-hmm.
How big roughly is the candelabra that is present?
It's kind of a standard kind of
So,
freeze-dried
like,
candelabra.
palms,
It's enough to shove into a bag rather than
but
kind of
not
shove into a
pockets.
pocket.
That's what I needed to know.
does that
Vias?
adventurer dude have a large bag on him at all?
Make me a perception check.
Yeah. I was actually about to ask about that and ask if I could borrow Vias' staff.
Yeah, Vias will not let you have his staff.
This guy here
Well,
Talia would offer a spear.
and this guy
That
here
works.
both have pouches big enough to conceivably hold a candelabra. This guy here near the doorway does not.
Vias will go towards the dude by the altar and
yeah, and
That one there.
Diana will
Yeah.
actually use the butt end of the spear to try and get this guy's bag off his shoulder.
Okay,
Pouch
so
man.
pouch
And see if it causes him to react. Because
Okay,
the reason
so-
I'm using the spear is that Diana has long arms reach anyway, and a spear will be about, 5 feet, something like that. So,
Okay. We'll go
Vias
for
would have
this-
also recast.
This guy first.
Shillelagh.
Make a
Vias, before he went to investigate, would have
Mhm.
cast Shillelagh again on his staff, just
okay.
in case.
So this guy here,
Yes.
make a sleight of hand check to see if you can lift that pouch.
Oh, he's good at those. 9.
Oh no!
Hang on.
Da, da,
Tool-assisted
da,
pickpocketing.
da, 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 da.
I mean, it's not as bad as it could have been.
Oh, he's good
You
at that.
completely fail to pick up the
Pokes his
pouch.
eye.
You kind of, I mean, I rolled a natural 20.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
However, because you're going for the pouch and you are a distance away, technically it doesn't trigger the effect.
Oh my god.
This is not an
very
eventuality I'd thought to plan for. So
Yeah, he's literally holding on to like that bird part of his staff, and he's just holding it like.
Welcome
Yeah,
to
I mean,
DMing,
Kane.
baby.
it literally is. It doesn't technically trigger the effect. However, before I come to that, Joe, roll a sleight of hand to see if you can get the pouch off the other guy.
Come on, Diana.
Or alternatively, see how he reacts, because he is possibly still conscious. And he hasn't reacted at all to us talking. Hey!
Nice.
Okie doke. So, as you reach over to grab at the pouch of this guy, a hand slams down and grabs a hold of the other end of the part of the whatever you're using. Was it a javelin that you were using or a spear?
A spear.
Yeah, the butt
And
end of
he
the spear.
grabs hold of the spear and makes eye contact with you. Roll initiative for me, please, people.
Yes,
Motherfucker.
oh fuck yes. Natural 20.
Hey!
Oh my
Vias was ready
God.
for this shit.
3.
23.
That's all your decks. Look at all them 20s.
Hey! Except for the fact that I think the turn order needs some resetting.
It does need
Yeah.
resetting.
Lena, no.
Lena.
God damn it, Lena again.
Beer
Oh,
Mom
welcome
and Lena
I mean,
go
we
last.
have been talking.
Okay, I would say if everybody manually adjusts their own turn, if you can, in the
Yeah. I'm still at 16,
order.
so it did register for me.
Sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't, and I'm not quite sure why. I need to investigate that, but
Pouchman.
not right now.
Pouchman 2.
Yeah, Vias's
Pouch
isn't
Man
moving
one.
really.
Pouchman
But
2, I am going to say
The thing
depends
is-
on how quickly round of combat finishes. And how much people are moving past
Clancy
him.
did 11.
Come on, that was a 20.
yeah, because we
Pouchman,
have been talking, and the one that Diana tried to flick the pouch off of, so the one that's engaged this, didn't respond at all, which...
It was just this guy here that responded. The other one has not yet made a twitch. And I'm going
Yeah,
to play it
but
by seeing how
the
combat
one that
goes.
was somewhat more alert.
Yes.
Damn it, I should have gotten Entangle for a prepared spell. Oh well.
Bear with me. I am now making a note to change how I was planning to use this area of effect.
Oh no.
Not, I won't use it for this campaign. It's just
Okay, well I'm gonna move Vias where he was. So he would have been right here. With Pouch
It's
Man.
just... You're changing how it works so that if people use long
planning to-
things to
I am
avoid
planning to
rain.
write this up at some point. I am inflicting it on 2 or 3 different groups as playtesting effectively. And you
Are
guys
the
are
other groups
you
as
guys are
paranoid
pulling
as
it to
we are?
pieces, which I love.
We will tear it apart.
Oh no, I need people to tear it apart because then it works better because you've ironed out the really obvious kinks.
Show you
So-
the holes.
Talia is at the top of the initiative order. Hey, Vera rolled lower than me on initiative. Shout out to the religious types right at the bottom of the initiative order.
Woo!
I think Talia, like, as soon as they notice something, just spins. Grabs, like, hand axe. Boop, 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 boop.
Yep, I would say he does still have, both he and Dona do still have a hold of either end of that spear.
Yeah, I'm gonna duck underneath it
Yep, okay.
and sort of, like, do some cool monk shit of, like,
You're going to limbo right under that spear.
slide underneath it and use the slide as a nice, like,
While he's holding it, you grab this spear and you launch off of it.
oh, sure, absolutely, fuck it. Launch off the spear.
Use it like like freaking monkey bars. Just swing right.
I'm just. Yep. Okay. Up and swinging. I don't think a 10 hits.
Wrong sheet. A 10 does not hit, I'm afraid.
Damn.
All right. Second attack. Nope.
Oh no.
Nope, I'm afraid
Oh,
not.
Talia.
Flurry of blows, please.
Get him.
Are you
Ah!
fucking serious?
It just got worse and worse.
Okay, well that one hits, I'm sure.
A 25 hits.
Oh thank God.
Okay, and then I'm gonna spend another key point and try to do stunning strike.
Bad rolls killed PK's connection.
Oh no.
Also, that's 7 points of damage. He has to roll a Constitution saving.
Okie doke.
9.
He does not make it. No.
So he is stunned until the end of his next until the end of
My
his next turn or your
yeah.
next turn?
My next turn.
Talia's next turn.
The end of Talia's next turn.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh hell yeah! It's advantage for Vias.
That's the end of
Okey-doke.
my turn.
Okie doke, right, it's your turn.
Oh God, he doesn't want to kill this dude, but
I mean, you can specify non-lethal damage.
yeah,
can
but a lot
do.
of his spells are lethal damage most of the time.
Non-lethal damage
Especially
is for
when he
pussy.
does guiding bolt. He doesn't really need to do that though yet.
Yeah, no.
Let's do. Sorry, I wanted to see what Talia did first before.
Talia did almost nothing, but still stunned him.
Back. Bias is going to cast Mind Spite. Second
Ooh.
level spell. Range of 60 feet. Make a wisdom saving throw for me, please.
Do I do that at disadvantage if he's stunned? I can never remember
I
with this one.
don't
I believe it.
know. I think it's just attack.
I think
No.
it's
Against him,
strength
I
and
have
dexterity
advantage.
rolls that are
Wow.
affected,
Well,
but
save
Which way
DC
it's
is
a
14.
6.
He rolled a 6?
So, yep.
Oh, okay. He takes 3d6 psychic damage. 3d6. And then on the fail save, I also know the target's location until the spell ends, but only while the two of you are in the same place of existence. Target cannot become hidden from you, and if it's invisible, it gains no benefit from the condition.
Okie doke.
6 points of damage.
I can maths. Cool.
13 points total taken. I don't know off how much.
Yep, no, it's fine. Go away. Well, it would be Pouch Guy 2's turn at that point.
The psychic damage.
He's stunned. Get fucked.
I know, so it's not his turn. Do you have anything else you want to do on your turn, Vias?
Give me a second. Oh, because that was an action, I believe, and it's concentration. Yeah. Bonus action. What would he do? He wouldn't. Hold on. I want to see. That's an action to cast. Damn it. Oh, no. He's just going to wait.
Okie doke. You do notice, however, Vias, as you cast that spell, Pouch Guy 1 here almost seems to wake up. And he is going to now join the initiative order.
Pouch man. The man with the pouch.
Absolutely. Just resort those. However, he rolled a 5, so, yay. Diona, it is your turn if Pouch Guy 2 can't go.
So, how alert does Pouch Guy 2 look at this point? Like, I know he's stunned, but there's still, like...
This guy here, at the moment he's stunned, he doesn't look overly alert, but when he reached down and grabbed that spear and made eye contact with you, he seemed completely compos mentis. He was totally with it.
Not the same kind of way that the ones we were fighting before did when they attacked?
Nope.
Diana's gonna step to here, let loose the grip on the spear, probably still hold it, but move up and just kind of, if you'd been able to hear us, you could have said something. And just try and grab him for when the,
Stun wears off.
Knock him out.
Okie doke, so you are grappling him.
yeah. Not as any kind of bonus action, doing it just as a standard.
Yep.
I'm gonna spend a Moxie and Brace as the... So that's a 15 for when he gets free, but... And then the Moxie to Brace, that was kind of crappy, but whatever.
Okie doke. So he is stunned and restrained.
Woohoo!
Anything else down
Well,
to do?
grappled, but if you want to give me a restrained, I'll take it.
Well, grappled. He's not moving
Yeah.
away from you anytime soon.
And he's clearly gotten the point that this wouldn't have escalated if he'd actually...
I mean, that's assuming that he cares, but hey.
Yeah.
Okie doke. In that case, then, if there's nothing else Diana needs to do, it is Susanna's turn.
Oh, good. Hopefully, y'all don't want to show me live. I plan on committing violence. Man,
Susanna is always planning on committing violence.
that's true. 100% of the time, violence is on her mind. But if Diona is grappling the dude, she's not going to want to fucking shoot him. Because she promised she wouldn't shoot the party.
I mean, Vias's one is starting to wake up. You probably noticed them move, maybe.
Would I have noticed them move?
From where you're standing with kind of this guy, Diona and Talia in between you and them, probably not so much, no.
Okay. Well, then I'm just going to shoot this guy, and he's going to say... I have advantage, yes, because...
Stunned and grappled.
Stun action, all
Yeah,
kinds of
sorry.
bullshit.
This guy's not
Yep.
moving.
Thanks, monk bullshit.
Monk bullshit is best bullshit. Hello. Thank you. Shark.
Well, that's only 7, but it's okay. It's okay. I'm okay with it. I'm gonna shoot.
Get him, Susanna.
Oh, natural 20.
That is far more satisfying. Thank you.
Yeah! You're welcome. No.
I mean, this guy is starting to look kind of rough around the edges by now.
Well, in that case, I will not shoot him with my bonus action. I will very carefully put my gun away and look at him.
Glare him to death.
Just ever so politely. Little sweet smile on the face. Just,
That's hidden by the veil.
Oh, you're right, the veil. Well, anyway.
This ominous
Clancy,
woman
it
in a
is-
dress.
I would like to state what has happened to this fellow. This fellow his bag has been attempted to be stolen, and when he stopped that, a tiny little elf person ran up, missed 3 times, stunned him.
Somebody got into his mind and hurt him very bad.
And then he's been shot twice.
Yeah, well.
And he's also, as well as being stunned, kind of being held in a half headlock, but mostly just with a hand on the collar of his shirt.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot I had sushi. Hell yeah. I'm gonna eat the shit out of that. Sorry.
That's
I'm
spoken in
hungry.
character.
Bias just finds some loose sushi that's been sitting in
Just
my
posting it. Ooh, food.
Loose sushi in an ancient temple. That sounds.
It's a little bit dusty, but it'll do the trick.
Oh
I have
my-
a question.
That's a health code violation if I ever heard one. Yeah.
I have a question. This guy,
I feel like that should
Yes.
also go in the cards against you.
Guys,
Yes.
this guy, has he been violent?
Yes. No, not yet. He's stirring, and he's kind of looking around at the group. He doesn't seem completely aware, but he's definitely looking around and eyeballing everybody.
And this guy has been.
Well, he grabbed hold of the spear, looked threatening, and then got the shit kicked out by a small elf woman and a human woman with a veil whose face you can't quite see properly.
So,
elf person, excuse
Elf
me.
person, sorry, my apologies.
so
Ouchies. I
Clancy,
slammed my finger in the door.
Clancy.
God damn it, Ren.
It hurts.
That, Ren.
I was not
Breaking
paying
fingers
attention.
is
I just
my
needed
job.
a plate. I just needed a plate for my sushi.
So, Clancy's going to kind of, pull up. Oh god, how do I say this and it doesn't sound bad? Basically, they have daggers hidden in the waistband of their pants, and they're gonna pull one out.
Whip
And-
it out.
Yeah, and pull one of their daggers out and throw it at this guy, but they're attempting to do non-lethal damage.
Gently.
Gently
stab them.
gently.
I don't think you can do non-lethal with ranged attacks.
Oh,
Hit him with the blunt end of the
then
knife.
they're gonna come up and. Well, actually, no. Then never mind. Can you do non-lethal with magic?
I don't think so.
I think it
that
depends
it's-
what spell it is.
Yeah.
Fire.
I think
The
so
vast
too.
majority of them I would think not.
Fire?
It's very hard to be non-lethal with fire.
Well, exactly.
Okay.
That's sort of the
Gently,
point.
gently scorch.
We're gonna.
I mean, to be honest as well, it's presumably very hard to be non-lethal with something like a warhammer. So,
Shout out to that one time in my IRL campaign where the warlock tried to be non-lethal with Eldritch Blast,
wow.
and our DM was like, "No, you wiped this poor old man off the face of the planet."
Cat, out of there. Don't need to be in there. You just ate.
Yeah, I'd say if you want to be non-lethal, you're probably going to have to get close to and
Sneak attack doesn't work if you're like right up next to them, right?
the what attack, sorry?
Sneak attack.
Sneak attack.
No, you can do that. Vax stun sneak attack. Like,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's only when they're engaged with an enemy.
He's got an ally of yours within 5 feet
Yeah.
of him distracting him, and also you have advantage, so you would get sneak attack anyway.
If you
Okay.
have advantage, you always get sneak attack.
Oh, yeah.
So Clancy's gonna take out one of their daggers, walk up to this guy, and just hit him with the blunt end on the head.
Okay.
Yes.
13?
13 does not hit, I'm afraid.
Fucking hell. Can I try again?
Yeah,
Bonus action? Well, no.
Yep.
Can I do that? Is that possible?
If it's a light
isn't-
weapon, yeah, you get an attack on your bonus action.
Fuck!
Oh,
Yeah, you're just you're that focused on not accidentally killing him that you just kind of you're just too focused on not
They just-
accidentally killing him.
They just stare at their dagger and stare at this guy and then say, "You know, I haven't actually done anything like this before, so that makes sense."
Good at
Okie doke.
Talia just
Um,
kind of gives you a look, like a little, like, okay.
It's less of a like directed at anybody and more like when you talk to yourself about something.
Yeah, I
It's
think
like, so
Talia
you know
picked
that's
up on
fair.
that, and they're just like, Okay. Okay. This might as well
Hey.
happen.
At which point it is this dude up here's turn. And he is going to go, I'm afraid, for bias.
Yes, bring it.
You shouldn't sound so happy about that.
Oh, I should roll initiative for Mercy too.
I have not set up his attacks properly. Why have I not set up his attacks properly? Boo.
Because you expect us to be more intelligent this time around.
No, I think I just forgot.
Speaking of, I need
Mercy
to-
has an initiative of 5, by the way.
Okie
Still
doke.
better than Vera.
Pull this guy up instead. I did it for him instead. So I literally filled in everything apart from his attacks, which just makes no sense.
Not helpful.
It's a +3 to a hit.
Come on, hit him. Bias's AC is 16.
Oh, so that misses. So
Thank
he's
you, shield.
at you once with a short sword, and he's going to try the same again. 22 to hit.
Oh, that hits.
Oh god.
Bias got cocky. He goes, ha ha, and then, oh.
Short sword is a d6, is it not?
Yeah, D6 plus Dex. Or Strength.
Two whole points of damage.
Down to
And
26
that is what
points.
he can do.
Since Mercy has the same initiative, can she move around him so she's flanking with Vi? So
I would say if she's with Vice, she'll have to stay in melee range, but yes,
Yeah.
she can.
she'd just round around him. She wouldn't get out of melee range.
Yep, no, that's fine. Does Mercy want to make an attack? I'll let Mercy go before Lena.
You know, she's tired of not taking attacks, so she's gonna try. It's +5 to hit. 1d plus 16.
That hits.
Yes, Mercy. She gives 1 point of damage,
Yeah.
Hey, it's better than nothing.
and she just like screams at it.
Okie doke.
How dare you hit
At
my
which
man?
point, Lena's going to move up to get to this guy. And in an effort, I'm really trying hard not to metagame here. In an effort to kind of not kill him. Oh, come on, change the page, thank you. Nope, said it. She's going to try and punch him in the face.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh.
With a 10,
no.
which misses. Do I get a bonus? Can I strike with if I'm using an unstrike? Can I use that as a bonus action as well, like you would if it's light? I believe I
think
can,
so.
because I know
You can-
I can use an arm strike as a bonus. So
If it was normal,
Don't
then I'd
forget
do
you
that.
have extra attack.
I do. So my extra attack 15 still does not hit, however. And bonus
I don't
action.
think technically you can bonus action unarmed attack unless you're a monk or a pure source. I think that's a specific
Offhand attack you can.
Yeah, I think you can.
You
as
just
a
can't add a proficiency.
proficiency bonus to it.
Yeah.
To be honest, they all miss any which way, so why worry?
guess my
So
thing for
Lena just does not approve of this whole not killing people.
But you would have had
It's-
advantage on every strike, wouldn't you? Because they're grappled.
To be fair, there's still only one of them.
And he's
This is true. Still only one
So
of
you
them.
would have hit on at least one of them.
you would have hit with the 21, so strength plus 1.
It's plus 3. It's 3 points of damage, which, yes, true. To be fair, knocks him unconscious.
Woohoo!
He is out cold in your grasp. Iona. I always forget about advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Vera, it is your turn.
All right. I am. Let's see.
I apologize if you guys can hear me eating.
It's okay.
It's fine.
I was eating.
I should probably save my spell slots. Yeah, I'll just take my mace and go for the person attacking Vias, but I'm going to do it non-lethally if possible.
Okie doke.
I don't think I have anything set for my mace. Yeah.
8 does not hit, I'm afraid.
Didn't
Darn
think it would. All right, and do I have any bonus action spells? Probably not. Nothing that would be
I think-
useful, at least.
Do you get 2 attacks per round?
No, not clerics don't get that.
Oh, right. Gotcha. Wait, did Vias get 2? Bet he unlocked. No, he didn't. Good.
Okie doke. If there's nothing else you want to do, Vera.
No, that's it.
Okie doke. It is back to Talia's turn.
Okay. Talia watches that one fall. And then just fuck you, roll 20. Not the way I wanted to go.
Yeah, Vias is backed up into a... That's where Mercy is, by the way.
Can I stand in the same spot as Mercy?
I mean, I'm sure she's small enough. She was
Yep.
just placed there to give him advantage if he was gonna do a hit. So she maybe just perches on your shoulder then.
Alright. 2 hand axe attacks. Not like okay. Talia gets there, sort of looks at Vias, and does non-lethal damage.
Okie doke.
He just gives them a nod. Like, do it.
Hold on, okay. That's one attack. Should have been an advantage. And
Okie
then
doke. 24 hits.
the second one is at advantage as well. Nat 20! Wow!
Natural 20. They both hit.
Hell yeah.
It's a nod.
Okay. If you're trying to do non-lethal damage, he is also unconscious.
Oh, thank God.
Alright, yeah. Non-lethal.
Yay, we didn't do a murder.
Talia's just gonna go down and start searching this man's bag.
Yeah,
Okay.
Vias was literally gonna do the same in immediate time.
This guy here, meanwhile, has not reacted at all to any of this that's going off. And I was going to say, since it's 10 past midnight, do you mind if we kind of leave the looting until kind of next week?
Yes, that's
Yes.
totally fine. I figured we were going long anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Well, I mean, I started an hour later, so technically we have gone long for me.
Yeah.
An hour earlier, I mean, not an hour later. I can maths, honest.
Honestly, time zones are stupid, so don't blame you.
Worst.
I don't understand why this has to happen.
That was super fun.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, thanks.
good.
It was really
Like-
productive.
I very much enjoy combat, so hopefully there's more. We haven't been doing much combat in the last, 20 or 21 episodes
We
we've been
haven't needed to
playing.
do combat.
We've
Well-
done combat 5 times.
Look, we have managed to fuck up less than I thought we would, so I'm pretty impressed by how this has turned out, actually.
I mean,
Because
there was
Vias is telling you guys to do shit.
plenty of combat around here that isn't going to test anyone's consciences if you find it.
Cool.
Cool, tight.
Oh
Right.
my goodness.
And on that note, I'm going to head off.
All right.
Okay, I will
Night,
also
night, folks.
Night.
I will
I'm
also
gonna head off.
go. Yeah.
Okie dokie.
To find some real food.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
I
stop recording.
need to.
Talk
I
to
need
y'all
to
later.
make my